your host, Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, right? Yep, we're on Spotify, right? Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all the podcast platforms you could think of. Just, go listen to some great podcasts, the Down to Earth Network. Well, new news, but this was actually yesterday with all of the stuff what is distracting people. This is what's going on, people. Trump has pardoned five former NFL players for crimes ranging from perjury to drug trafficking. This is kind of crazy because you would think he wouldn't do this, and some people they want to get pardons. Other people ask for pardons and they haven't gotten it, right? So he's pardoned five former NFL players. This is kind of hypocritical to some, right? But what's her name? The girl for the Epstein files, Ghislaine Maxwell wants a pardon. But look what he's doing. He's throwing it in people's face. Pardons. So this is what he does. He pardons these former NFL players not too long after, the Super Bowl. This is kind of a message, what he could do. So President Donald Trump speaks during an event with Environmental Protection Agency Director Lee Zeldin to announce okay, let's see what he's saying. No, that's not it. He's doing all types of crazy shit. I'm going to get down to earth with it. Washington. President Donald Trump on Thursday pardoned five former professional football players for various crimes, ranging from perjury, right, to drug trafficking. So he's pardoning people for drug trafficking. Kind of hypocritical. I mean, drug trafficking, he's pardoning people for that. Remember what I just said. The pardons were announced by the White House pardon Caesar Alice Maria Johnson, ex NFL players Joe Klecko, Nate Newton, Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, and the late Bill Cannon were granted clemency. Someone was asking for clemency the other day, and I think it was what's her name again? The girl from the Epstein situation, the woman from the Epstein stuff, Maxwell, right? For something similar. As football reminds us, excellence is built on grit, grace, and the courage to rise again. So is our nation, Johnson wrote on a social media site X as he thanked Trump for his continuing commitment to a second chance. A second chance. So he pardoned five people. So he wants to see who's going to say anything about it. Johnson said Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones personally shared the news with Newton, who won the three Super Bowls with the team. The White House did not return a request for comment Thursday night, why Trump and avid sports fan pardoned the players. He don't give a damn. He's doing all types of stuff. He's doing whatever he wants. Pardoning people, he's doing what he wants. The White House did not return the request for the comment. So, of course, this looks bad. Klecko, a former star for the New York Jets, pleaded guilty to perjury after lying to a federal grand jury that he was investigating insurance fraud. A defensive lineman, Klecko, was indicted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I mean, inducted, not indicted. I messed that up. Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2023. He was a two-time Associated Press All-Star Pro player and a four-time Pro Bowler, right? Newton, offensive lineman, plead guilty to federal drug trafficking. This is where it gets interesting because this is crazy what Trump is doing. See, it's kind of hypocritical because in other situations he's giving pardons now. Now Newton, an offensive lineman, pleaded guilty to federal drug trafficking. Aren't you fighting drugs, Trump? Charged after authorities discovered 10,000 in his pickup truck, as well as 175 pounds of marijuana in a accompanied car driving by one another. Newton was a two-time All-Pro player and six-time Pro Bowler. Now this other guy. because it's five of them, right? So is this a message for what happened with the whole thing with the tariffs that the six Republicans turned on him? So now he got to pardon five football players. Really look on that. Lewis, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns, pleaded guilty to in a drug case in which he used a cell phone to try to set up a drug deal not long after he was picked up in 2000 NFL draft. Lewis, a running back, was named in the All Pro once and was one-time Pro Bowler. He was named in 2003 AP Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, so he feels sorry for football players. Trump feels very sorry for the football players. These guys are on drug charges, and he's talking about how he has to protect America against drugs. But then you got these guys just because they're professional football players, you're pardoning them. Now this makes people don't not have really any hope into the American administration in regarding with the Epstein files, for example. Are you going to pardon those people too? If they find out, probably this is a preview. Henry, who played for the Denver Broncos, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to traffic cocaine for financing a drug ring that moved the drugs between Colorado and Montana. He was a running back for three teams and a one-time Pro Bowler. This is bad. So you're telling me Mr. Trump is pardoning like football players involved in drugs? And it doesn't make no sense. And then he's going after, like I said, that guy Ryan Wedding, a big drug kingpin. Bless up, OG Kicks. He went after that guy Ryan Wedding for and blaming Mexico and South America for most of the drugs coming into America, and is killing 2 to 300,000. And then you're pardoning all these guys. It doesn't make no sense. You heard what I was saying, like drugs. No, this other guy. And Cannon, who played with the Houston Oilers, Oakland Raiders, and Kansas City Chiefs, admitted to counterfeiting in the 1980s after a series of bad investments and debts left him broke. Cannon, who a two, who's a two-time pro player and a two-time Pro Bowler, Cannon was also won the 1959 Heisman Trophy while starring for Louisiana State, where he had one of the most memorable plays in college football history. So he just loves sports. Yes, Trump, you love sports, but you just pardon all these people. And the reason he pardoned these people, I'm telling you why he pardoned these people. He pardoned these people because what happened in the House the other day. Talking about, I'm talking about them stopping his tariff stuff. So he's mad and angry, man. I'm telling you, he's like a kid. He's like a kid. He's angry. So the reason he took these five people and gave them pardons is because what happened at the White in the House vote for the tariffs, right? So he pardoned guys who are involved with doing drugs. I don't care if you're a football player. He pardoned these guys who are involved in doing selling or something to do with drugs. Trump pardons five former NFL players for crimes ranging from perjury, that's big, to drug trafficking. Now, people are going to ask him questions, and I hope he answers them right? Because for you to say you're fighting against drugs in America, like, you want to stop the drugs from coming, but then at the same time, you're giving pardons to people who have cases involving drugs. Donald is amusing. You're right, man. Because as I read these charges for these guys, man, how could you pardon all of them? Like other people want pardons too. That's why Puffy wants a pardon, right? But he said no to him. That's why that lady for the Epstein files, Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, she feels she could work out a deal with Trump because of this. This is making her think, hey, Trump, could you give me a deal and then I will. But I don't think he gives a damn. But look at all of this, man. The pardons were announced by the White House. Pardon Caesar. That's how they call the person. Alice Maria Johnson, ex NFL players Joe Klicko, Nate Newton, Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, and Bill Cannon. I could look them all up and see what the real, more details of the charges, right? More details of the charges will be interesting because he got these guys off. And then he's saying he's fighting against drugs. He says he's fighting against drugs to stop drugs from coming into America. What kind of message is this? What kind of message is this? The last guy now, right? He was doing a drug ring. A drug ring. Did he give somebody up? Did he give somebody up for you to give him a pardon? No. The last guy, one of the last guys, Lewis, a former formerly of Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns, pleaded guilty in a drug case in which he used a cell phone to try to set up a drug deal, and not long after was a top pick in the NFL draft. Lewis, a running back, was named an All-Pro. So I'm gonna look up Lewis. Lewis, right? Football player. I'm gonna look up Lewis because this is crazy business. This is crazy doing parties. What do you guys think about this partying and stuff? He done it around the same time as him losing the tariff vote. I mean, losing that whole thing with the tariffs. So let's see if he vetoes still. So this guy Lewis, I'm gonna look up Lewis, football player, pardon, who's was involved in a drug ring, and Trump pardoned him, and that's kind of crazy because he's saying "Make America Great Again" and saying that he wants to stop the drugs from coming into America. What kind of message is this, right? Lewis, football player, charged with drugs, pardon. It's crazy. Look what he's doing, man. Like, this is crazy. It's like a movie. The man's pardoning people. Trump pardons 5 former NFL players for crimes ranging from perjury and drug trafficking. Right? So I want to know who Lewis is. President, I gotta see what he's been up to. Cause this is crazy work. Right? He get them likes up. Yeah, much respect. Get them likes up, people. Lewis. Anybody know football real good? Okay. Jamal Lewis, that's his name. So, President Trump pardons 5 former NFL players for various crimes. We know convictions, including drug trafficking. Very hypocritical. But I want to know who Jamal Lewis is. Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis. Yeah, let's see. Jamal Lewis, NFL legend, shot. Okay, now this is what it is. This is what it is. Because this is crazy, man. And this should be probably viral. I'm surprised it's not big. Jamal Lewis is an NFL legend, shockingly pardoned by Trump. What really is behind the surprising decisions? Yes. High profile pardon highlights. Yes. Now let's see. President Trump has granted pardons to 5 NFL players, including Jamal Lewis. Okay, all these names already said. So, details of the pardon players. Okay, the pardons include some of the most recognized names in NFL history. Jamal Lewis, 46, a running back who won the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens in 2001, was sentenced in 2004 for attempting to arrange a drug deal involving at least 5 kilograms of cocaine. Lewis served 4 months in prison and missed 2 NFL games due to suspension before returning to the professional career. Got slapped. That was nothing. He got slapped on his hand. Joe Klicko, 72, a defensive lineman for New York Jets, a member of the famed New York Sack Exchange, was sentenced to 3 months in prison in 1993 for lying to a grand jury investigating false car insurance claims. Klicko was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2023. So, listen, what does this show you? Trump is supporting criminals. He's supporting criminals. That's what he is doing. He's supporting crooks. 100%. right? Nate Newton, 64, a three-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, pleaded guilty for drug trafficking in 2002. He was sentenced to 30 months in prison after being caught twice for dealing over 100 pounds of marijuana. You know what this shows me? If you have money, you could get off things. If you got the money, you could get off a lot of ish, because most of these guys, if they weren't a football player, they'll be serving some football year numbers, right? These guys are getting months. The most is like 30 months so far, what I've been reading. Okay, Travis Henry, 47, a Pro Bowl running back with the Buffalo Bills, was sentenced in 2009. 3 years, he got the most, I think, 3 years in prison for financing a cocaine trafficking ring. In this interview with the New York Times before his sentence, Henry discussed being broke after fathering nine children. That's not known. Nine children with nine different women. That was your fault, buddy. That's your fault. That's your fault, right? Crimes and context of the pardons. Each of the pardoned players had already served their sentence, with most returning to professional football careers after their release. So they got soft time. They got no real good time. People, please bring up the likes, and subscribe if you can. The range of crimes include drug trafficking, perjury, and counterfeit, highlighting the seriousness of the offenses. So that wasn't bad to Trump. Those charges are not bad, but the drug ring is bad, right? You're telling me that man only got 3 years? So be a football player and you don't go to jail. Just become a professional football player and it will be all right for you as long as Trump is in power, right? Despite the time passed since their convictions, the pardons have been described as unexpected due to the combination of high profile athletic achievements and criminal records. So, because they got athletic achievements, right, they get away with it. This is ridiculous. This is the leader of like America. He's making America look really bad right now. And it's the only reason he's done this, I feel, because he had a couple Republicans turn on him the other day around the same time, right? They voted against the tariff stuff. So you got these six Republicans. So it's a message. Five people I'm going to pardon. Every time things don't go my way, that's what Trump is saying. Anytime it doesn't go my way, I'm going to do something, right? Public interest centers on the contrast between the players' professional success and their criminal past, raising questions about the broader implication of president pardons for high profile figures. Yeah, he's doing everything before he's gone, right? He doesn't care. He's gonna burn the house down, Mr. Trump. He don't give a damn. But it's kind of bad because how are you saying you're going after drugs? Are you trying to clean up America, make America great again? And then you're doing these pardons for people who have a bad record. I don't care if they're football players. I don't give a damn if they're football players. They're still criminals. They were caught with something, right? Public and media reaction. This is what's going on, people. Media coverage has noted the unusual nature of the parting former athletes years after their release. Johnson's statement framed the pardons as an act of redemption and second chances. So Trump is giving people second chances, right? Second chances. Public interest centers on the contrast between play. Okay, got that broader pattern of Trump pardons. You want to know Trump's patterns, right? People, please and subscribe if you can, right? Broader patterns of Trump pardons. These NFL pardons form a part of the larger pattern during Trump's presidency, which has included pardons for January 6th Capitol riots. So he gave pardons already for the riots. Cryptocurrency executives. This is a pattern, right? It's coming to, I don't know if you're going to do that with the Epstein people. And international lawmakers and analysts note that Trump has often targeted high profile individuals whose cases have attracted public attention. That makes sense. So, what this analyst is saying, he does these high profile pardons for public attention, and that equals distraction, right? Public attention equals distraction for things what he's doing, right? In all five NFL cases, the pardons were granted long after the players had completed their prison sentences, emphasizing rehabilitation and the opportunity for a clean record rather than immediate legal intervention. So this is a distraction. Like I said, he makes up a lot of distractions all the time. Career highlights of the players. I don't want to read that of the players, but this is a distraction. It makes sense, right? So do all this stuff, release, pardon all these people, and it will be a great distraction for the public out there. Great distraction for the public. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about Mr. Trump? What do you think about Mr. Trump and all of this distraction? What he's putting out there right now for all of you. This is something he wants people to talk about it. He's trying to make up a lot of distractions. I don't think he really. I think he's backtracking with the Epstein files. I think he's backtracking with the Epstein files. He doesn't really want to talk about the Epstein files because he's involved with. Well, people are putting Mr. Trump with the Epstein files, right? So by bringing up pardons for famous football players, it will kind of, overshadow all of that, plus the tariffs, what he lost, the economic war, what he lost with Canada. It will overshadow that. But come on now. Anybody who's smart looks this up that you're giving pardons to people who are involved with drugs, like some type of narcotics, and he's saying you're fighting against narcotics. People, please subscribe if you can, and bring up the likes, people. Bring up the likes, like OG Kicks was saying, right? It's kind of really bad because this guy, for example, Jamal Lewis, and it's like they want to cover some of these guys up, was involved with cocaine, right? And he says everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. But right now, he's deporting people for what's called. He was deporting people for fraud or being illegal in the country. They ain't getting no second chance. A lot of people ain't getting second chance. If you're illegal in the country and you've been living in America for so long, he's getting rid of you. So these guys, because they're football players, and I guess they're special, they are getting clemency. They're granted clemency. You see that? They're granted clemency because he likes football. So he's saying he's putting it out there, he could pardon anybody he wants. And you guys can't say anything about it, right? This guy, Jamal Lewis, if you guys know about Jamal Lewis, the football player, right? He was involved with drugs too. Cocaine. I think it's cocaine. See what's Jamal Lewis's case. I want to know what Jamal Lewis's case is. Oh, pardon for what? They're just saying drugs, but there's more to it. There's more to it. Why this football player why was he even doing it? Right? You got to ask that question. Why was he even doing it? I want to know. All you're gonna see is this pardon stuff. There's more to the story. There's more to the story. It's all out there. It's all out there. Mr. Trump pardoning, doing these pardons. It's all mixed up though with all the other news. It's all mixed up with the other news, people. But it's like when you look this guy up, right? It's just showing Trump because there's more dirt around the story of this football player. And I want to know how much these guys have done, and do they deserve a pardon? Do they deserve a pardon just because they're a football player, right? Doesn't mean that they deserve a pardon. Jamal Lewis. Yeah, Lewis. Lewis crimes. And I don't want to see Donald Trump all over it. I don't want to see Donald Trump all over it because that's what it seems. Jamal Lewis, let's see. Jamal Lewis was convicted in 2004 for conspiring to possesses with intent to distribute 5 kilograms of cocaine using a cell phone in commission of the crime. He reached a plea deal in October 2004 and was sentenced to 4 months in federal prison. The pardon granted by President Trump for Lewis is part of the broader trend of presidential pardons for the former NFL players, which have been announced by the White House. Yeah. So, yeah, there's probably more to it. This man was distributing drugs. He had a deal, some type of deal. And you know what? They're not really giving you too much details. You see, when you have money, how you could cover up a lot of things when you have money. Epstein done it too. When you have money, you could cover up a lot of shit. And Trump respects money, right? So all these players, he has cleaned their record. Most of them already served their time and stuff. They already served their time, so they're already out. So what is he doing with this? Why even announce this? Could have kept it more under wraps. Why even talk about this whole thing? I know why he's talking about this. It's for distractions. This whole thing about doing these pardons is a distraction, right? And what does he not want you to know? What is he trying to distract you from? Who gives a damn about these 5 football players? Who cares about these 5 football players? Really think of it. Who gives a damn? Why is he talking about this now? Americans should be asking that. With all what's going on, he's giving pardons to people who was involved with drugs, either distributing it, taking it, doing some type of illegal stuff. So, what kind of message is he trying to send the American public? Saying he could do whatever he wants. Like, does anybody give a damn about these pardons? Right? Exactly. None of the ICE employees deserve a pardon but got one. Good point, what you're saying there. Good point, what you're saying there. He said, exactly, none of the ICE employees deserve a pardon but got one. And he's giving pardons, right, to these football players. It's who he wants. He picks and chooses, right? Puffy asked for a pardon. P Diddy asked for a pardon. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. Recently, Griselyn Maxwell, she asked basically something similar, like for clemency. He didn't jump to it, but he's jumping to these football players. Some people are mad at him, right? There's certain people who are thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? But all these individuals, these football players, they're not locked up in prison. They're not locked up in jail. They're already out. So him saying he's doing these pardons is not really doing anything for them. It's just to distract it's to put it out in the media. I looked it up. That's what it is. It's just to distract you, right? Trump pardons five former NFL players for crimes. You see it on NBC News. You see it on every media piece right now. This is to cover up his loss, losing the tariffs. I don't see that he's trying to revoke it right now, the tariffs. It's because he lost the tariffs, people. I'm telling you. And people, please like and subscribe. It's because he lost the tariffs to Canada. They didn't go through with that vote about the same day. I think it could have been Wednesday or Thursday, around the same time. So that didn't go through. He lost that battle. 6 Republicans went against him. So now he pardoned 5 football players. You see that? Reverse psychology type of weapon, how he put that out. So now everybody's gonna pay attention to the 5 football players that he pardoned. But they already out of prison. So what's next for this man? What next is he gonna do? Ask yourself. Is he going to pardon anybody else? Will he pardon some people from the Epstein situation if it comes up, right? So even if they bring out that the files, what everybody's looking for, and names, are those people going to go to prison? Are those people going to be going to prison? Anybody in the Epstein situation, he might just pardon them too. He might just pardon them. That's why he's not. That's why, like I said, this is all all a distraction. Mr. Trump is doing a whole bunch of things. He's playing games on people. But like I said, these guys were involved in some nasty work. Some of these football players. Okay, so the White House did not return a request for comment Thursday, right? Today's Friday, but they did not return any comment. That's what is going on. Klecko, a former star for the New York Jets, pleaded guilty to perjury and lying to the federal grand jury that was investigating insurance fraud. Do you know they locked up, what's her name, Maxwell? Most of her, I guess, the convictions for her was perjury. She got 20 years. She got 20 years. Most of everything what she got charged with was perjury. She got 20 years. This guy is a football player and he done some insurance fraud and some perjury, and he really didn't get no time. Like, he didn't really get nothing. The football players got pardoned because their display being super MAGA. Must be. Yeah, that's why they're praising Trump. All they got to do is praise Trump and you could be above the law, right? I guess that's how it's going. Praise Trump and you'll be above the law, right? So, former Cleveland Browns running back Jamal Lewis was among the ex NFL players. Yeah, he done a whole ring, man. This man done a whole drug ring, a whole big drug ring, and he didn't really get no time. Now Newton, an offensive lineman, pleaded guilty to federal drug trafficking after authorities discovered 10,000 in his pickup truck. Look, let's listen to that story. And 175 pounds of marijuana accompanying a car driving by. Big, 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 big. So this shows you the favoritism. All you have to be is somebody with money, an athlete, a celebrity, and if you get in trouble, Trump might get you out. I think he helped out Lil Wayne. He helped out Kodak Black, a couple rappers. He helped out Nicki Minaj the other day. He helped out Nicki, right? That's why Nicki is pro MAGA now. Um, these guys he helped out, these football players, they got to be supporting Trump 100%, and whoever else, right? Whoever else is they want to pardon. If you want to pardon, you got to be supporting Trump. If you don't support Trump, you ain't getting no pardon. So that's why a lot of people, certain people are quiet. Now I understand why certain celebrities are quiet because maybe they got some dirt and they don't want they want maybe a pardon if it comes down the line. If people dig up some dirt on them and they get in trouble, they need Trump to pardon, right? So Washington, President Donald Trump Thursday pardons 5 former players. What is he doing? I want to see the MAGA people, all the MAGA supporters. What is he doing? Someone said he's just trying to get more what's called MAGA people on his side who are famous, right? Clemency, grants them clemency. This is messy. This is messy, man. This is very messy. And he don't give a damn, Mr. Trump. Trump doesn't care. So who's next? Who else is he gonna pardon? All the people who want pardons, now's the time. If you want pardons from Mr. Trump, this is the time. Go out there right now before it's too late. He's turning 80. He might not live too long. So if you want a pardon, right, you better just ask him. Doesn't hurt. Just ask. You might get it. Puffy tried. Puffy did he tried. It didn't work, right? Um, Tory Lanez, I know you're Canadian. You're locked up. and you got stabbed, maybe you need to try to get a pardon. Try to get a pardon. Nikki was MAGA long before her. She did. Oh, you think she was a MAGA? Probably, maybe she was MAGA a long time ago. But since she been seen with Trump and talking with Trump, she lost a lot of Instagram followers. They're saying she lost some of her supporters, right? But all you people who have some type of dirt, if you're a celebrity, someone important, this is the time to go to Trump, right? This is the time before it's too late. Just go to him and say if you could get pardon. Maybe Tory Lanez, who's locked up in prison, he might could get a pardon, but the only problem is he's Canadian. But it doesn't hurt to try. Try to get a pardon because these guys have got it, and some other people have got the pardon, right? People are getting help from this man. Do it before it's too late. Really, do it before it's too late. All right. 5 people he has pardoned, but they're not locked up. They've been out. They already served their time. But this is to show you when you look up each case, money talks and the bullshit walks. When you got money, especially being a celebrity or something like that, you could pay for your freedom. These guys didn't get no long what jail time. I think though only one person got like 3 years. The most was 3 years. That's it. Most of these charges, people would be going to prison for like over 10 years, maybe 20 years, if not more, right? Especially the guy with the whole drug ring. The guy with the big Newton with the drug ring, right? With the 10,000 in his pickup truck, and 175 pounds of marijuana in a company car driven by another man. Him. How much time did he get? I don't think he got that much time. He didn't get that much time, right? Lewis, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, plead guilty in a drug case in which he used cell phones. So, listen, this is America. To make America great again. What's the message Mr. Trump is putting out there? That he could do anything, even grant pardons to guys who have like were dealing with drugs before and trafficking. So he's pardoned. He has pardoned a trafficker. He's pardoned a person who's been doing drug trafficking. Just listen to that right here. And he's saying he's fighting against drug traffickers in Mexico. He arrested the Venezuelan president with his wife because he accuses Venezuela of being a place to support cartels and drugs, right? But then he's given pardons to people who are involved with cocaine and trafficking and all types of drugs. Does it make sense? What's the message he's putting out there to the American public? He's playing with people's emotions. Or he thinks Americans are stupid. He thinks the world is stupid. He really does. Because you're having the so called war on drugs. You're blaming, for example, Canada for the fentanyl. You're blaming China for the fentanyl. You're talking about all of this drug war on drugs, but then a good amount of the people you pardon were involved with drugs. It doesn't make no sense. So now Americans are going to ask themselves, what is going on? Who do we have as this leader? Even the people who claim they support him. You must question this. All the supporters for Trump, you must question what he's doing. Do you guys support MAGA people? All verified. So do you guys support this? That these pardons? Edith Pack, do you guys support all this stuff, what he's doing? I want to know. I want to see the MAGA people come out. And people, please like, and subscribe. Where's all the MAGA people? Y'all sleeping? Long live the king. Okay. So you support Trump. What do you think about these pardons? That's what I want to know. Paradise, Lost, Divine Comedy. What do you think about your king, Donald Trump? I know, and yes. So you support these pardons then? You support these guys who were involved with narcotics and drugs and charged, and some served their time a couple months, One served about 3 years. So do you support him if he pardons the Epstein people? This is where I'm going. The pardon is the subject. So if he was to pardon some of the Epstein individuals that allegedly could be involved in, like, being with underage kids, would you support that? My king is Jesus Christ. So, okay, your king is Jesus Christ. This one, what's his name? Paradise Lost Divine says, the king, long live the king, Trump. See how it goes? One is supporting Trump, one supports Christ. He said Christ, Jesus Christ, but it's really Jesus Christ. Okay. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly, okay, which nobody. So you support him. You support Donald Trump and giving pardons to the NFL drug dealers, that or whatever, perjury, all types of stuff, fraud, right? American tax money, you know, took in to for these cases, and these guys, they had to pay up too. You guys support that? Because will you support if he pardons some of these billionaires if they're involved with the Epstein stuff? Will you support that? I think right now, honestly, a lot of the MAGA people are quiet. I could tell they've been silent. They've been silent on these internet streets. They've been quiet because they're seeing what Trump's doing. They've been silent. Only you. I have to give you respect. Paradise Lost Divine Comedy. Most of the people for Trump been kind of quiet recently. So maybe I think there's some type of shift going on within the MAGA movement. Because when he's seen 6 Republicans just the other day vote against him, that's a message. I don't think the MAGA movement is strong anymore. They're saying that his support is going down. Donald Trump's support has gone down, right? So it's not the same. His support's not the same, people. And people, please like, subscribe. So, who are these 5 people? I think one has passed away, right? So Joe Klecko, Billy Cannon, Travis Henry, among those pardoned by President Trump, right? Where are reading all these files? We are reading all the files. Are you talking about the Epstein files? The Epstein files? You know what? I keep hearing about people reading the files and bringing up all people's names and shit like that. But is it facts? So it doesn't matter if people read all these files now, because this just shows you an example of Trump will pardon certain people. He will pardon certain people if they're his friends. Let's hope she's talking about Christ. Yeah. But Trump has pardoned certain people, so does it really matter anymore about these files? He's putting a message out there. He's telling you guys this. No matter what dirt is on certain people, as long as they're a celebrity, as long as they have money, as long as he recognizes them, as long as he likes them, they're not going to get punished, right? Much respect in the chat. He's basically saying you're not going to get punished as long as you have the money. That's why Nicki Minaj the other day, she put out some money when she was seen with Trump at that at his meeting, the Treasury meeting. Nicki Minaj put out like 300,000. I don't know if that's fact, but that's what was said. She put out 300,000. She got her gold card, and she's now American. So, right, the rich, if you have the money, you could get off anything. What you're saying, Edith Pack. I know what Trump is doing, and I approve. And I mag, I MAGA, and I will never give up, back down. I love everyone. Okay, but do you support? So you support the pardons then? You approve the pardons of these guys who are convicted of basically one doing selling drugs, right? And there's another one there's like at least 3 of them out of the 5 was involved with some type of drugs, narcotics, right? So you support that. That's all I want to know. You approve him giving pardons to people like that, like this guy, Henry, who played for the Denver Nuggets, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to traffic cocaine for financing a drug ring. So that's who Trump pardoned. A guy who was financing a drug ring, right? Conspiracy with cocaine. So that's you approve that. You approve that then. So you approve that. Okay. So that means you can approve if he pardons some people from the Epstein files. And people, please like. Bring up the likes. So you will approve that. If you approve Trump, then you're not for the truth, Edith. She proves him. It seems that is a big supporter, right? Like I said, I'm waiting for some of the MAGA. She's a MAGA. At least she's brave to talk. Some MAGAs will just watch and not talk, right? But like what you're saying, right? If you approve Trump, then you are not for the truth, Edith. So what he's doing, this is a distraction. Guaranteed this is a big distraction. The man is the master of distractions. Every time he wants to distract you, a new story comes out. Are you calling me a liar? No, you're talking. You're saying your truth. You support Trump, and that's what you want to do. Nothing's wrong with that. Anybody could support whatever they want. Some people might think it's wrong to support Trump, but you support a man who supports drug dealers, right? You support a man who supports people who are selling cocaine to the American population. You support a man who supports ex criminals, right? So maybe that's what you support. That's what I'm telling you. You support. You're supporting a man who supports criminals, and he supports a whole bunch of other stuff. This is happening because, right? The other day he lost to Canada. He lost that tariff battle, and 6 Republicans turned on him, and he's angry. So just look on it. It's coincidence. 6 Republicans turn on you, right? And then you pardon 5 NFL football players. Just look on that. I think you're between. I think you're torn between the corruption and the truth and corruption, Edith. If not, you wouldn't be here listening. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're torn between the support of Trump, Edith, and you're torn between the truth. So I just want to hear from you. Do you support the people he has pardoned? Not so, and he's not doing any such thing. So that's what we want. I want to know yes or no, right? From Edith Pack. Do you support the people who he just pardoned? Just want to see yes or no. Yes or no. Do you support the people he just pardoned? Simple. Because if you support him doing that, then you support these guys. You support what these guys have done because he feels that it's not that bad. So he could release the not release them. They were locked up, but clean up their record by giving them clemency and giving them a pardon. Edith, I believe you would look up the sky and call it blue. I don't know anyone he pardoned. Well, this is going to give you the update. See, the ones he pardoned are NFL big star players. Football, if you know football, one of the biggest American sports, right? And people, please like and subscribe. And these guys, right? I could read it for you if you don't know one of the guys who he pardoned because you support Trump, right? Henry, who played for the Denver Broncos, plead guilty to conspiracy to traffic cocaine for financing a drug ring that moved drugs between Colorado and Montana in America. He was a running back for 3 teams and one-time Pro Bowler. That's one guy. So I'm telling you, you might not watch football, but a lot of people watch football. This guy is known, and he was pardoned by Trump, right? He was pardoned by Trump. So let me know. Do you support Trump giving pardons to a drug dealer. Do you support it? I just told you now. I gave you some information. I could give you more information on the rest of them. There's five of them. Even fraud. He pardoned some people doing fraud. So I could give you some more information if you want to know. So all the MAGA people are quiet, right? They're silent, most of them. No, I don't like fake football. Okay, so you don't like football. So it doesn't matter if you don't like it. What do you feel about him giving a pardon to a drug dealer? That's what I'm going to call him. If you don't know about the football, he's still a real person. This is not fake. 100%. It's a real individual. So do you support Mr. Trump giving pardons to drug dealers? That's what I want to know. Just be honest. What about believing in the fake actions that don't exist, Edith? You're beyond contradicting. You're right. You're right what you're saying. You're right what you're saying. Prince Cash out. You out. You're right what you're saying. A lot of people, the MAGA people, they're running scared because they look stupid now. Trump is actually making them look stupid. You know when someone does too much, right? This is what's going on. He's doing too much. Even some of the MAGA people are starting to change their minds and probably saying, you know what? I do respect certain things what Trump's saying, but you know what? Let me step back from this. I don't want to be looking like I'm a damn fool. Now he's going too far. Giving pardons. First was some rappers he was giving pardons to, and now he's giving pardons to athletes who are selling drugs. Right? I have no fear. So see, you can't answer the question. See, this is what I was saying about the people who are MAGA people. They cannot answer any proper, straightforward questions. And it seems like, no disrespect, Edith, but it seems like Trump said years ago, he says, if you want to fool the American, no, he was saying Americans will believe anything they watch on TV. That's what Trump said. Americans will believe anything they watch on TV. And for him to become a president, basically he has to become a Republican because he was Democrat before. So he has to be a Republican. He's basically saying the people who he plans to fool are idiots, a lot of them, right? And don't make this guy right. Don't make him kind of right because a lot of the MAGA people, when I see them in the chat and stuff, they can't answer no questions. It's like ignorant. They can't answer no good questions. Maybe one or two will have an argument, a debate, but most of them, they don't know how to talk. They don't know what to say because it's true. I'm just giving you facts. It's not coming from me. This is what the media has put out and reported what Mr. Trump has been doing. He has pardoned five people, and about two or three of them are involved in drugs. You get what I mean? Drugs. So it doesn't look bad. I mean, it does look bad. What I'm saying, it doesn't look bad. So the MAGA people are quiet right now. I tell you, they're silent, silent. They have nothing to say, right? Now let's see who else. I'm gonna go to that list, a better list, because, like I said, all these guys. Trump pardons former Tennessee football player Jamal Lewis. Yeah, Trump pardons Jamal Lewis, a big drug dealer. Former Ravens. Yep, pardons collect a whole bunch of things. But this is a distraction, like I'm saying, right? They are. It says, Edith, you're what we call ignorant. You don't know facts. It's true. We go by facts here, down to earth. People, please like. We're going by facts here. I'm sorry. It's true. I have to see that for myself. Well, you're on the internet. Google it. It's big. It's everywhere. You're on the internet watching. You could go Google it on your phone right now. See, that shows you a lot of people are in the dark. This is recent news, man. Like I said, it's a distraction. Now, when you find out that the man has pardoned drug dealers, then what you're gonna say? What are you going to say when you find out that he has pardoned drug dealers? Just because they're football players, they get a pass? He's pardoning drug dealers. I'm telling you that right now. No, who else is there? A lot of the MAGA people, they're really ignorant. It's true. You guys are losing now. You're not winning. You were winning for one time, for a time, right? Now it's going down. All that action, what was going on? All that action, what was going on? The first term, and then now he wants to bring up the action with the ICE and shit like that, and going into Venezuela, and then the MAGA make America great again. It's all coming down. That's why I see what's going on right now. It's coming down, and it's affecting the American people, right? It's affecting the American people in some way. So this was on Thursday. What this man done Thursday? This happened, right? Thursday, he pardoned all these people with the help of his cronies, if you want to call it that. So this was Thursday. Today is Friday, Friday the 13th. They say this bad luck today, right? So, like I said, I could read it again for you if you don't know Edith Pack. This is one of the guys who Trump pardoned, right? So, Mr. Lewis, 46, a running back who won the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens in 2001, was charged in 2004 for trying to set up a drug deal at least 5 kilograms of cocaine mere months before his first NFL game. Damn. So this guy was doing this all before his first NFL game, right? He reached a plea deal and was sentenced to 4 months in prison between seasons, right? If you guys remember that, if you watch football, between seasons. After serving a 2 game NFL suspension, he resumed his football career. He is one of the only two players who rushed for at least 295 yards in the game, and in 2003, the season, he rushed for the 2,066 yards, the third most of any running back. So he made history. People love him because of football. Who is telling you besides that? What do you mean? Who's telling me besides that? What about the guys who were charged? It's public knowledge. Been locked up. You cannot be serious asking that question, Edith. Who is telling you besides that? This is what Trump and his administration put out. Come on, you're embarrassing yourself. Come with a better answer than that. If this is MAGA's people, you got America in trouble, man. Holy shit. This is news. Thursday came out. It's big all over the place. It's big all over the place. No, that is BS. So it's BS. Wait, come on. You're embarrassing yourself. You embarrassing yourself. What is BS? Tell me what is BS. The pardons? The pardons is fake? You're embarrassing yourself, Edith. The pardons is fake. So what I'm reading right now, which is on almost every major news outlet, of Trump pardon giving pardon is fake. Is it? I think you need to go on whatever you're on, your phone or your laptop, and Google Donald Trump pardons Thursday. Google that. And people, please like and subscribe. But Google that, Edith Pack, please, because you are really uninformed. This is what really happened. He pardoned 5 football players from the NFL. And if you think it's BS, the only BS is you not having knowledge, because it's right in front of my face right here. Record, right? Okay. So maybe I need to read it over again for you to understand and where it's from, right? Let me read it over again. Some people don't understand. President Donald Trump on Thursday, right? Today's Friday. Thursday. This was Thursday. pardoned 5 former professional football players, including Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, and Heisman Trophy winner for crimes ranging from perjury to drug trafficking. This is your guy. This is what he done recently with the pardons. The players is Joe Klecko, Nate Newton, Jamal Lewis, and Billy Cannon and Travis Henry had all been released from prison more than a decade ago. So that's fake. That's fake. That's BS. Edith, the pardons were announced by Alice Maria Johnson, so she's fake too, right? Mr. Trump's pardon Caesar. In social media post Thursday night, as football reminds us, excellence is built on grit, grace, and the courage to rise again. Miss Johnson wrote, grateful to the Potius for this continued commitment to the second chance, she added. So you're saying it's fake, right? Or whatever, BS. It's the latest in the slew of presidents' pardons that has ranged from hundreds. Ugh. On January 6th, Capitol rioters to crypto moguls to lawmakers in the United States and abroad. Here's who Mr. Trump pardoned. Okay, Mr. Klepko, 72. I think he passed away. A defensive lineman for the New York Jets in the late 70s and 80s was sentenced to 3 months in prison for lying to the grand jury investigating false car insurance claims in 1993. In his playing years, he and Mark Gastineau were part of the defensive line nicknamed the New York Sack Exchange. Okay. So, where's the BS? Where is the BS? Listen, the BS is a lot of you MAGA people. That's where the BS is. The BS is a lot of MAGA people. The BS is the BS coming out of MAGA people's mouth. That's what it is. Man, can there be any smart MAGA people around to defend Donald Trump? Where are they? Where are the smart MAGA people? Because I think some of them, Mr. Trump has lost the support. Like I said, this is a distraction because he's crying because he lost against Canada with the terrorists. He lost. Six Republicans turned on him, so now he has to pardon 5 people. So at any time he doesn't get his way, I'm gonna pardon these people. Let me pardon this person, and let me pardon that person. So the Epstein files, he's gonna pardon people too. People, please like. Is he gonna pardon people from the Epstein files? It makes you wonder because most of those people are like wealthy people, billionaires, multimillionaires. What's this showing me is football players who have money, right? Money talks and the bullshit walks. The rest. Before all these pardons, these guys basically got their freedom because of money. That helped them. If they weren't a football player, they would be serving football number of years if they weren't playing football. The most one of these guys got was 3 years in prison. So, man, Trump, your MAGA support is embarrassing you. And I think he's beginning to see it. Your MAGA support is losing. I could honestly say this right now. Trump is losing. Even though he's in power as the president, he's losing support. Right now, before I never used to think of it, I think he needs to step down any more of the bullshit he does. I think Donald Trump needs to step down. People, his party should try to, I don't know if they're going to do a coup or something, but he needs to step down. He ain't doing nothing more, no more good for America. Don't you see that he backtracked in Minnesota? He stopped putting the pressure down in Minnesota. He's not going to deport no more people. It's all a show. Like I said, he's an actor. It's all a show. He don't give a damn about the people in MAGA. Make America great again. I think he's tired now. It's all a show. It's over, right? He could be the president for the next 3 years. Maybe he might get impeached. I hope. I think now he needs to get impeached. He needs to get impeached now. He needs to get impeached. They need to take him out, right? Even though He speaks his mind, and he's telling you exactly what he's gonna do and shit. You gotta take this guy out, man. I know all you people who want a pardon, you better get it now from him. Get the pardon from him now. Casey, we've heard all of this. Also, you heard, yeah, it's all news. A lot of these guys, they served their time. But the question is, Thursday, right? It was Thursday. They pardoned him, pardoned these guys, which it doesn't make no sense because they already been serving their time. But the point is, why is he talking about this? It's just because he wants to. This is a distraction. Distract from being a loser. He lost his vote for the tariff stuff, right, against Canada. So it's a distract. He's distracting people from seeing that he's a loser. That's all it is. Trump lost, and he doesn't like losing. So he's distracting with this whole little football pardon, saying, "Oh, I pardon these guys," right? So what next? Impeach for what? Well, a lot of people are bringing it up. They're saying to impeach him because you're right. Impeach for what? He might have that defense, but the 34 charges he had, we never heard of. No one doesn't really know about the 34 charges, right? But you say impeach for what? So we're going to talk about not just a pardon, right? Let's dig up because no one talks about Trump's 34 charges. And they're saying they're minor charges, so he doesn't have to go to jail, right? But he's giving all these pardons to people because he knows he has dirt on him, right? Trump's for he knows he got dirt on him. 34 charges right before he became a president. Trump's new ammo tossed the hush money case conviction. Ah, yeah, yeah. So let me read what you're saying. You already said what he needs to be impeached for. I don't understand why people are playing stupid. Yes, people are playing stupid because a lot of the MAGA people are stupid. I'm going to be straight up. That's what it is. Before I was giving some a benefit of a doubt. I know I'm hurting some of their feelings right now, but it's because a lot of them are stupid, right? That's what it is. There's so much on this. So here's all the 34 counts. Okay, hush. They're saying it's hush, right? Hush. Trump is found guilty. This is what's hypocritical. Trump is found guilty on 34 felony counts. Read the counts. Jurors in New York's criminal trial against former President Donald Trump have convicted him of 34 felony counts of falsified business records. So that doesn't get you jail time, lying on your business records. This is the first time a former sitting U.S. president has been convicted of criminal charges, but he wants to pardon people. That's why he's doing it, right? The jurors said they they unanimously agreed that Trump falsified business records to conceal a 130,000 hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniel to influence the outcome of the 2016 elections. He's dirty like the Epstein files. He got his own files. So all of this, the 34 charges involve him, right, with a lady, Stormy Daniels, influenced the outcome 2016 election. Here are the details of the 34 counts. Dirty, 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 dirty. So that's why he's play. Oh, he's dirty. This is bad. So guilty. I'm gonna read all of them because he's giving people pardons. Mr. Trump is giving people pardons, and people please like. So number one, and I never got to read all this. This is really interesting, right? People want to know what the 34 charges. Here we go. So now, and he's doing all the pardon shit, right? So this is Trump. Invoice from Michael Cohen marked as a record of Donald Trump's revocable trust. That's one. Two, and he's guilty. Two, entry in the detailed general ledger of Donald Trump's revocable trust bearing voucher number 842457. They have all these codes with this shit, right? Guilty. Three, entry is the detail of general ledger for Donald Trump's revocable trust bearing voucher number. It's all these damn numbers. I want to see what it is. Check. Now, four, he's guilty after three. Check and check stub Donald Trump revocable trust account bearing check numbers. Guilty. Five, invoice from Michael Cohen marked as a record of Donald Trump revocable trust. Guilty. Six, entry with the detailed general ledger for Donald Trump's revocable trust bearing voucher and has the number. Guilty. Let's see. I want to see something more interesting. He's just guilty all the way through. Let's see if anything is different. And you see this guy, Michael Cohen, all through. What else is there? Stubs. It's all money, money, money. That's what it is. Guilty of hiding money. Let's see. Where is the so 34. Let's go to the last one. Check. Stub Donald Trump account bearing check number. So it's all the money. They're saying he's been hiding money, doing something and shit. But the Stormy Daniels thing, let's see. Let's see where that's coming. Stop playing stupid. They will play stupid, right? What impeachable offense has Trump done since he got elected? Well, people are gonna bring up since, not what he done before, because when that White House stuff was illegal. He should have got locked up just for that. But what has he done recently? Um, People are going to say he doesn't deserve to be impeached for, you know, saying certain things. I guess he could say whatever he wants, right? Um, People are going to say maybe he should be impeached for the ICE, what they've been doing in Minnesota, but then he still got defense for that. Um, what should he be impeached for is if he's involved in the Epstein files. That's the only thing what people got right now. If he's involved with the Epstein files, which there's no proof of that right now, then he should be impeached. Still can't name them. Uh, it's the Epstein files. That's the only thing. They really don't have anything on him right now. They really don't have, for recently being a president. They don't have anything on him right now, right? You can't name one. Well, the ones what people want to bring up, the only thing what people want to bring up right now to impeach him is what's going on with the ICE. That's it. They want to say that what the ICE has done is illegal, but everybody could argue about that. That's all they want to say. I don't answer to you. So right now he will be probably they're running around with talking about him being impeached. They wanted to lock him up for these 34 charges, though. But that was before he was president again. They wanted to lock him up for that. So why were we saying 5 minutes ago that he should be impeached? Well, he should be impeached maybe for just going to what's called Venezuela the way he did without the UN. Well, I guess you don't follow international law, without the UN or without any threats from Venezuela. Some people would say he should be impeached for that, right? Putting the American military in danger. You can't convince a deer stuck in headlights. He wants to be there. Oh, Lee. So you don't think he should be impeached? You are a MAGA. At least you support you're on here and you're supporting your guy. But you weren't on here earlier. This is the question I want to ask Jimmy, right? Do you support these pardons? Do you support the pardons of these football players, these ex-football players? Do you support that? That's all I want to know from a MAGA supporter. Do you support the pardons? Let me know. Do you support the pardons of drug ex what football players who are drug dealers? That's what I want to know. Come with that answer. If you can play stupid psychology, you should answer your own question. So yeah, I want to ask Jimmy, who's a big supporter of Trump. Do you support the pardons, what he's done Thursday? Interesting. There was one on here who ran away. Edith is not around anymore. Edith is gone because she couldn't answer that. She couldn't answer that. She acted like she didn't know what was going on in the world, especially in America, in regards to Trump giving pardons. So I'm asking, right? Ultra MAGA Arizona. I don't care about the pardons. It doesn't affect my life. So that's see, you're going around it. Don't go around it, man. You can't fool me. Don't go around it. I'm not talking about you don't care. I said, I'm asking you a question, right? Do you support him giving pardons, right, to these football players who are caught with drugs? That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear. Not that you don't care. I want to hear if you support that, what he does, what Trump does with his power. When you're stupid, things aren't supposed to affect you. Yeah, because you can't answer that question. That's the question. I don't talk about you don't care. I want to know it. So you don't care that he is giving pardons to drug dealers. That's all. That's what I'm trying to clarify. Let me know. I only care about all the women and children that aren't being sex trafficked since Trump secured the southern border. So you don't care that he gives pardons to drug dealers. You don't care that he gives pardons to drug dealers, Mr. Trump. That's you just answered my question. And people, please like, subscribe. So you don't care that he's giving the pardons to drug dealers. That's all I want to know. Now he wants to have a heart. So he said, I only care about all the women and children that aren't being that aren't being sex trafficked since Trump secured the southern border. There's people still being sex trafficked in America itself. The Epstein files. That's just one example, and all the guys behind it, billionaires who they're protecting, right? So there's sex trafficking going on in America. They don't have to go to Mexico or Canada. You have over what 300 million Americans in America. You could sex traffic people within America. You don't need to go to Mexico, right? Once again, I don't know anything about those people. See, this is the pattern. You hear this Prince cash out? Let me read this. He freed blacks from prison and now complaining. No, we're complaining about. It's not just blacks who are pardoned. Some white guys too. So let's this again. I gotta read this because it sounds like somebody else. Once again, I don't know anything about those people he pardoned, so I don't care. That's the part. That is the pattern of these MAGA. That was Edith. That was Edith. So that's why you have no argument. If you don't know, right? A lot of the arguments you or debates, you cannot debate it. You don't know. And guess what? It's fact. This is what happened yesterday, Thursday. He pardoned a lot of these guys who had criminal records. They served their time. They were doing drug rings. They were doing drug rings. I don't know if they were drug dealers, so therefore I don't have, well, that's what they're charged with, unless you don't believe in the American justice system. They were charged with selling and doing trafficking, right? The courts charged them. They served their time. Even if it wasn't a lot of time, they served a couple months, one served 3 years, right? These guys are known. These guys are known. So I'm going to inform you. I'm here to inform you. These guys, let me go back to them, right? Let me go back to them because it seems like a lot of MAGA are blind and they only care about what they want to see. But this happened Thursday. Today's Friday the 13th, right? Today's Friday the 13th. He pardoned 5 people. It's not made up. Trump pardoned 5 football players. Trump's pardon. So now I know. I know the pattern of MAGA supporters, man. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I know the pattern. Don't look for information. Look past the facts. Believe what you want to believe. But this is what he has done, right? That's the MAGA thing. Claim your ground, Jim. It's time to be a man and not follow. Yes, not follow. Come on, man. You're not looking good. The MAGA's losing right now, especially in the chat. MAGA is losing real bad. Trump has issued many pardons since returning to the White House, including baseball legend Darryl Strawberry. I didn't even know that. Rapper NBA Youngboy and Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover. I didn't even know that either. Several former NFL players have been pardoned by President Donald Trump. Alice Marie Johnson, the president's pardon Caesar, announced this is Thursday. This is Thursday for you MAGA people who are ignorant. Today, the president granted pardons to 5 former NFL players. Joe Klecko, you don't watch football? Nate Newton, Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, and the late great Dr. Billy Cannon Johnson, who was pardoned by Trump in 2008, wrote in a social media post as football reminds us of excellence is built on grit, grace, and the courage to rise again. So is our nation. Grateful to, you know. So, Nate Newton, if you don't know, right? This is for the people who don't know. Nate Newton, a former Dallas Cowboy, was sentenced to 30 months in federal prison in 2002 after pleading guilty to drug trafficking charges. Newton, 64, received the news of his pardon from Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. So your guy, Mr. Trump, who you're saying he's doing all this stuff, this is what he's done. He's pardoned this guy. And people, please like, bring up the likes and subscribe. He has pardoned that guy. He said, "You've been pardoned from the president." Imagine that. I just sat there for about 30 seconds to a minute. I was stunned. Damn. But I told him, "You tell the president thank you very much," like a good little boy. Recall the 6-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All Pro. So you got to go call the president and thank him for giving you a pardon, right? Criminals, right? So Trump, so you support it. So you support him giving these pardons to these football players just because they're a football player, but drug dealers, right? Trump, Trump, Trump. So you support no defense. All could say is Trump. You can't defend it. I'm waiting to say that you support him releasing pardoning drug dealers, right? All the MAGA people. Do you support him pardon all these drug dealers, right? That's what I want to say. Newton said of the news at one point, "You lost trust when people do egregious, egregious bad things. You lose trust in them, and only time can get you that trust back. It's been a lot of years since those things that I've done against society and individuals. I've been truly blessed. It's a great thing." So it's great that he got pardoned from Donald Trump. Donald Trump got a lot of criminals in his back pocket. He got the criminal support. That's what it is. So maybe a lot of the MAGA people are criminals. That's what I'm trying to. That's what it is, right? It was weak, but it's still illegal, right? So a lot of the Trump people are probably criminals. That's what I'm guessing, right? Gun-toting criminals. So Travis Henry, a former running back for the Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans, and Denver Broncos, was sentenced in 2009 to 3 years in federal prison for financing a cocaine trafficking operation. After serving 2 years, he was reinstated in the NFL. So this other person, Travis Henry, was doing trafficking drugs, the same stuff what they claim they're fighting against, right? To make America great again. The same stuff that they claim they want to stop from coming from these cartels to make America great again. He's just pardoned one of these guys, even though the guy served his time. He pardoned a guy who was a drug trafficker. What kind of message is that? What kind of message is that? So you agree? You agree for? So that means if he pardons some of the people from the Epstein stuff, you good with that too? Okay, so at least this guy says Jim Baroni, he supports Trump no matter what. The drug dealing mommies didn't get a pardon. Which drug dealing mommies? I don't know which one you're talking about, man. All I know, he's got pardoned some rappers. He pardons these football players. He's getting out criminals out of prison. He's taking a whole bunch of them out of prison. So he doesn't give a damn. Don't have no drug dealing mommies. For that, now you get knocked out, right? Any stupidness, I could even remove you. I didn't even know that. Oh, damn. Let me put you on the timeout for 30. Damn. That's what happened. Now you're knocked out, dummy. So, least now you said Prince cash out. I'm at Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix. If you want to meet up in person someday and have a conversation about this, I'll be more than happy. He's giving you an invitation. He's giving you an invitation. Jim, you need Dr. Phil's help. So Jim supports Trump no matter what. He supports him. Even if Trump he can do no wrong, Mr. Trump. He can do no wrong. So pardon every criminal that's who does dirt. Even the people part of the Epstein files. When if more names come up, the pardons will be all right, right? Jim supports him. He supports him. Nothing. If he wants to support Trump, it's good for him. But that means he supports everything what Trump is doing. Your address for what? Oh, Lee, back and forth. What are you saying? You're saying back and forth with Jim. Listen, this is facts. People, please bring up the likes, and subscribe. Well, like I said, this is a distraction, I believe, though. The big picture is a distraction. It's funny how things simmer down in Minnesota. It's funny how you're not really hearing about the ICE anymore since the two uh, people were unalive down there. It's funny how Trump is saying he's taking out some of the ICE out of Minnesota and how he's doubling down. Your own guy's doubling down. Your own guy, Jim, has doubled down. I hope you know he's not going fully force like before. And same thing with the whole uh tariff stuff, right? So I don't see that he is revoked that vote. I don't see that he revoked any vote. He lost Canada's tariffs. There's no tariffs on Canada right now from America. Those big scary tariffs that Trump was trying to put on Canada, they're off until he revokes it. Will he revoke it? Maybe he doesn't, because he knows when he put those tariffs on, the only people it's going to hurt is America. It wasn't hurting Canada, it's just hurting America. So he needs Canadians' economy. As the guy in Washington was saying, one of the Republicans was saying, right? I think it was a Democrat. He's saying Canada and Washington's economy are intertwined. So they're basically saying we need them as allies, and Trump is crazy. And that's why you had 6 Republicans turn on Trump about the same time. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. So all of this shit is anger, what he's doing. Pardon. He's going to pardon. Who next is he going to pardon? Who else he's going to pardon out of prison? Or, I mean, who have a record? This guy is crazy, man. And the World Cup too, like all of that, people don't even want to go to America like before because of all of this shit Trump's doing. All of this stuff. President Donald Trump pardons 5 former NFL players for various criminal convictions. Various criminal convictions. Like I said, there was a person on here earlier who loved Trump. Her name, I think, was Edith. Couldn't answer no questions. Couldn't answer no questions. Now Jim, he's a little bit, more out there, but he says he doesn't care. At least he's being honest to say he doesn't care whatever Trump does. He still supports Trump, even if it's crazy, even if it's out of this world. He still supports Donald Trump. I'm going to give him respect for that. At least he's saying, even if Trump looks like a damn fool, a damn idiot, that he still supports him, right? Because right now, people are going to say, hey, Mr. Trump, will you give me a pardon? Will you give me a pardon now? No. Now everybody's saying, Trump, give me a pardon. Nicki Minaj already came to him and she wanted to get her whatever gold card or make sure she's a citizen. So down low, a lot of people think he's not that he's easy to like kind of persuade. They're saying this is the guy, man. Yo, just really support Trump. Go on social media and support Trump right now. Because if you support him, you'll get off. You'll get off your charges. Kodak Black, think of it. He pardoned Kodak Black. This is your president. You want me to look this up? This rapper Kodak Black, who's always high on some type of shit. This man looks like, sorry, he looks like a crackhead. This is who Trump's pardoned, and you MAGA is trying to defend him. Trump, it's because you guys don't know what he's doing. Pardons. You guys, I could see that a lot of you guys don't know. Tonight, I got the proof. A lot of you who support Trump don't really know what he's doing. You don't know what he's doing. You really don't do research. He could do any damn thing and get away with it because he knows a lot of you ain't doing no research. He disrespects his own so-called supporters and thinks they're dummies. That's what it is, right? He thinks they're dummies. Lil Wayne, now this is what it is. And Lil Wayne ain't perfect. He ain't no angel. People, please bring up the likes and subscribe. Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, why did Donald Trump grant them this? These two rappers who like to take a lot of drugs, right? And this is for you MAGA people, right? I don't know if you MAGA people even listen to rap, but this is the people who he helped pardon too. Rap stars Lil Wayne and Kodak Black were on the list of more than 140 people who were granted pardons or had their sentences commuted by outgoing US President Donald Trump on his last full day on the job. So is this a message that Trump knows that he's getting old and that's why he has to do all of this? It could be that too, right? They were joined by Michael Harry O. Harris, a founder of a seminal rap label Death Row Records and a drug connected to drugs too, after Snoop Dogg campaigned on his behalf. While the omission of Tiger King star Joe Exotic from Mr. Trump's list went against some expectations, here's a look at what clemency was granted to the three hip hop artists. Lil Wayne, trustworthy, generous. So, okay, Trump includes ex-aide Bannon. He's doing a lot now. Let's see what he done. Lil Wayne's real name, okay, Dwayne Wayne Michael Carter, plead guilty to federal weapons charge last year. The 38-year-old was found to be carrying a gun and bullets when police searched a private plane in Miami in December 2019. He faced up to 10 years in prison. I didn't know that really. He is also one of the biggest stars in rap, with 5 US #1 albums and more than 40 top singles than any other artist apart from Drake. He met and appeared to endorse the President Trump during the election campaign late last year, praising his work on criminal reform. I didn't know that. I didn't know Lil Wayne was a supporter of Trump. Lil Wayne is a supporter of Trump? So he said he set black men free and Snoop Dogg was back his friend. It's true. It's true. It's true. Snoop Dogg is quiet. Snoop Dogg said F Donald Trump and all of a sudden he's friends with him. This is funny. The White House said his pardon had been championed by Brett Barish, CEO of wine and spirits company Sovereign Brands, who described Lil Wayne as a trustworthy, kind-hearted, and generous. So a rich man kind of talked about Lil Wayne pretty good, and Mr. Trump liked that. And people, please like, and subscribe. So Mr. Trump was supporting that. The White House statement went on to say the rapper had exhibited generosity through his commitment to the variety of charities. So charities, money. Same thing what Nicki Minaj done. It's money. Money talks, bullshit walks, people. Right? Donations, research hospitals, and host of food banks. Deion Sanders, who also wrote the support of the pardon, called him another football player. Trump loves football. Damn, all you got to get is football players, right? To do something. Wrote to the support of the pardon, called him to provide for his family and friend to many of the men of faith, natural giver to the less fortunate, and blah, 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 bullshit. Now, let's go back to Kodak Black. Kodak Black, I call him Cocaine Black. Cocaine Black. That's what I call him. The 23-year-old, real name Bill K. Capri, had a U.S. number one album in 2018. He was sentenced to almost 4 years in jail. He didn't get that in 2019 for making false statements to buy a firearm. Right? He has now had his sentence commuted with the White House praising his work. Black is a prominent artist and community leader, officials noted. He has committed he has committed to supporting a variety of charities, see charities again, charitable efforts such as providing educational resource to students and families of fallen law enforcement officers, and the underprivileged, they said. So this is what you got to do. If you want Trump to help you, you're going to have to help the community. That's what it looks like. See, this is what it is. It's business as usual, right? Trump's a billionaire. So the way how you're going to speak to him is money. You could be dirty. It's just the money. See, that's why they're putting him with Epstein and shit and stuff. That's why he was at parties with Epstein back in the days, because of money. But if he knew, as he claims, Epstein was involved in dirt, he would not be with him or be around him. But people, please subscribe and like. Bring up the likes, people, if you're watching. He has committed to supporting a variety of charitable blah blah. He has also paid for notebooks of school children, provide funding and supplies to daycare centers, provided food for the hungry, and annually. That's a good thing, Kodak Black's doing, but he's doing it for himself, for freedom, right? Annually provide for underprivileged children during the Christmas, and while behind bars, he gave 50,000 to 40,000 to COVID hit small businesses in his Florida hometown. So Trump respects that, right? Mike Tyson likes Trump too. You're right. You're right. I guarantee he had to pay some money. I guarantee Mike Tyson had to do some charity work, right? He done some charity work. Here's the pattern, people. Here's the pattern. Is some of those people who are involved with the Epstein files going to be paying Trump off? Probably. That's why you won't hear about them, right? Even though Trump's a damn idiot, Tyson's a damn idiot, Trump likes him. They're friends. So that means what? Is Trump a damn idiot? Maybe. The campaign for his freedom had the backing of religious leaders, including Ohio pastor and former Trump advisor, Daryl Scott, and Rabbi Schumer Kaplan, as well as the former New York Police Commissioner, Bernie Kerik, who was himself pardoned by Mr. Trump. Damn, this is just getting more deep. How much people Trump has pardoned, man? This is crazy, y'all. Who is Snoop Dogg? I thought. Who is Snoop Dogg? So is Snoop Dogg? I thought. He's pardoning a lot of people, this man. This is crazy, man. Michael, Michael Harry O., who has served 32 years for attempted murder and cocaine trafficking, had been pardoned after Snoop Dogg, who was signed to Death Row Records, lobbied on his behalf. So Snoop Dogg owes Donald Trump shit. Snoop Dogg owes Donald Trump. That's why you got to be quiet. That's why you don't hear about Donald Trump anymore from Snoop. I'm giving you guys the real down to earth news, right? because Snoop is a rapper too, and these pardons with these NFL players is not new. It's connected from shit before. So he pardoned a drug dealer, Mr. Trump, because Snoop said, yo, he was like lobbying for him. The 59-year-old had an exemplary prison record for 3 decades, according to the White House, as well as because he was nice in prison, because he was doing good in prison. So all that drug dealing and stuff what he was doing, murdering too. Damn, let's free him. He could come out because he's friends with Snoop. As well as studying while inside, he mentored and taught fellow prisoners how to start and run a business, officials added. Upon his release, Mr. Harris will have meaningful place of employment and housing with the support of his family. Huh, doesn't that sound nice? Huh? Mr. Trump released a drug dealer before and a murderer. Do you guys know that, MAGA people? He pardoned a drug dealer and a murderer. So what you gotta say? MAGA, look up the information before you talk because a lot of you are looking stupid, right? Finally, Joe Exotic's name was trending because the Tiger King TV star did not make the cut of Mr. Trump's last minute pardon. Of course, he doesn't like what that guy's mixed up with, despite some of the reports that he would be. Joe Exotic is currently serving 22-year sentence for his involvement in a murder for hire plot. He's not going to release that guy because that guy likes, same sex stuff and Trump is against that stuff, right? So he has pardoned rappers and now he's on to some football players. He had released a whole bunch of prisoners, I'm hearing, and they're black. So sorry, he's releasing criminals. He's releasing a whole bunch of criminals. How do you guys feel about that? They did petty crimes. Not that guy I just read, the guy from Death Row, the founder, he sold drugs and murdered people. So murdering is a petty crime. If these guys weren't celebrities like Kodak Black and Lil Wayne, they would be serving 10, if not 20 years, right? Lil Wayne had a gun with bullets in it. Bullets. So tell me, what do they do to people with a gun and bullets in America to the average Joe? I'm not talking about the places where you're allowed to walk around with guns, especially. What do they do with you in a place where it is illegal to have a gun? You can't carry it around and you got bullets in it. What will they do to you? Right? Smart people don't like me. Well, the way Democrats love it. Okay, they did. So this is what I'm saying. This is a pattern of what he's done. He has pardoned a lot of people, a lot of people, and most MAGA people can't answer a question. They cannot answer anything. So far, that's what I'm seeing. My experience. Jimmy was in here. He was trying to state his argument, but most of the time, all he could say is Trump, 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 MAGA. No debate. There was somebody earlier in here. They just said they love Trump. No debate. They cannot debate. So far, MAGA is losing. MAGA is losing 100%. So they're saying Lil Wayne is trustworthy and stuff. All these excuses, man. Lil Wayne trustworthy and generous. So it seems like Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, all they had to do is take out some money, take out their pocketbook, and put it in to donate to charities. So basically, they paid for their freedom. They're saying, "Yo, Lil Wayne, you know what? We could get you out of prison, but we can't just pardon you. You're gonna have to give us some money, like the charities, and then you're gonna have to do some kind of like community work. Make it look like you're more of a good guy. We could control the media, but you just go out there. You're an artist. People love you. We're gonna give you the pardon, but you're gonna have to give us some money, right? That's the same thing with Kodak Black done. You heard what I just read. He had to do all types of stuff. That's all they know. Trump, Trump, Trump. You're right. Trumpenstein. That's all they know. They don't know. They have no argument. They can't debate. There's no debate. Do you see even Pam Bondi, the other lady, the other day in the court when they were questioning her? She looks stupid. That was an embarrassment to the American government. That's an embarrassment to Trump. She looked so stupid, and how she was talking about other individual in that meeting, right? So these are the people who run America right now. These are the people in control. You got Trump, and you got that lady Pam Bondi, right, and others. That's who's control. Holy shit! And none of them have any debate. That's all they know. Yeah. Trump stand 2028. They're hoping that he will be the president forever. It's not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's a lot of stuff going on. All these pardons. It's not the first time he pardoned. So why wouldn't he pardon Puffy? Ellis Island Medal of Honor 1986. Why isn't he not giving a pardon to Puff? Why is he not giving a pardon to Diddy? It makes me wonder. Diddy's from New York. Diddy's charges are less than some of these people, way less than these football players, Puff. And no pardon? Does Puffy know something about Trump? Makes you wonder. Let me look that up, that relationship, because he's pardoning these football players, right? A lot of them involved in drug trafficking and illegal substances. But you want to know what Puff been charged with? And he wrote a letter to Donald Trump. That's why I want to look up the letter he wrote to Donald Trump for a pardon. Everybody, he had kitties. They didn't find nothing. He didn't. He wasn't going by facts. Even with the Epstein files, they haven't found nothing on Diddy but older ladies, right? Diddy asked Trump for a pardon. You guys know that? They didn't find anything on Diddy but prostitution, and I think maybe they wanted to do trafficking. Trump says Trump says Sean Diddy Combs asked him for a pardon, right? Sean Diddy Combs asked him for a pardon. So, and people please like, and subscribe.
President Trump says Sean Diddy Combs has asked him for a pardon. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
Puff Daddy asked him for a pardon.
Combs is serving a 4-year sentence in a New York City jail on 2 prostitution-related charges.
A lot of people have asked him for a pardon. Puff Daddy has asked him for a pardon. President Donald Trump said Monday that Sean Diddy Combs has reached out to ask for a pardon following his conviction on 2 prostitution-related charges. 2 prostitution-related charges. So you can't fault Diddy for doing that because he's seen Trump give a lot of people pardons, right? A lot of people have asked me for pardons. Trump told reporters in an Oval Office, I called him Puff Daddy. He has asked me for a pardon. A representative, a representative for Combs declined to comment Trump's remarks Monday. So he tried, and it wasn't at a good time. It was at the time when all this stuff is going on in Minnesota. Combs was sentenced on Friday to over 4 years in prison. He will get credit for the 12 months he's already served at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since his arrest in September 2024, as well as being fined $500,000, which he has that money. Combs' lawyers, who spoke exclusively with ABC News on Friday, said that they are considering appeal, blah, 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 blah. Either way, let's go back to Trump, right? So, the ones who blindly follow Trump are the minority. Most of us just were sick of the woke gender nonsense. So, you're saying, yes, I understand what you're saying. A lot of the people who follow Trump are blind, and that some people are just showing some type of maybe support because they're tired of all the garbage what was going on before with Biden, right? Real economic benefit usually comes from investment in people, jobs, infrastructure, and stable markets, not just resource grabs of tax breaks for the wealthy. So what happened is when I'm reading these pardons, especially the celebrity ones, they all had to put out some money. They all done charity. If it wasn't for the charity, if they didn't do charity, they wouldn't be out of prison. They would be locked up, right? So Puff Daddy, he's probably trying to do something in prison so he could look good. He's not coming out. Trump can't take him out because his story of why he's locked up is too close to the Epstein stuff. So how would it look if Donald Trump gave Puff Daddy a pardon? He's basically saying, I can't pardon you for that. There's a video of you beating a lady on camera. Sorry, Puff, I can't pardon you for that. But these other guys who's been charged for selling drugs and cocaine and maybe murder, I could give a pardon for those people because that's not really gonna make me look as bad. No one's gonna be looking at them because they're not that famous like you, right? So this is what's going on. Forget Puffy. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting any pardon, buddy. That's over. So he picks and chooses who he wants to pardon. He's picking and choosing who he wants to pardon people. What do you think about that? And like I said, the MAGA people, you're losing. The MAGA people are losing. You have no defense in this because the facts are the facts. It seems like a lot of MAGA people are not educated or they're very ignorant, right? And I see what growing golfing is saying that people were just tired of certain things. The ones who blindly follow Trump are the minorities. So saying that's the minority. Most of us just were sick of the woke gender nonsense. Yes. So most people, even if they didn't like Trump, they went with Trump because they were sick of all the stuff what was out there, with the woke stuff, the gender stuff, and all that shit. I could understand that too. People, please like, and subscribe, right? It's the Down to Earth Network. So these five football players, right? And a lot of MAGA people can't answer this. Do you agree with him what he's giving these people pardons who are involved in illegal activities? Because that's what it is. They all were involved in illegal activities. So Trump is saying, on one hand, I will pardon these people who've done all these illegal stuff. And on the other hand, I'm fighting the reason I'm in South America, right? This is the reason I'm in South America to stop the drugs from coming in to America. So you're blaming South Americans just for bringing the drugs into America. It's not Americans who are assisting. Come on, man. People are smarter than that. So it's no Americans. I just read you some football player was doing a drug ring. Was doing a whole big drug ring. One of the football players. He's American. So what are you talking about? You don't want to deal with your own problems. If you want to say it's coming from somewhere else, that it's another country that's causing all the drugs to come into America, that there's no Americans part of doing all of this stuff to their own people. Guess what? It is. It's called organized crime. It's been going on for almost over 100 years. What do you think the mafia has been doing? Where do you think they've been getting their drugs from? Even if it is South America, they're American, born Americans, been selling the damn drugs to people forever, right? So let's see. And this is just a distraction because he lost a battle with Canada for tariffs. So that's what it is. I'm giving you guys the news. This is just a distraction. All of these pardons, this NFL pardon is a distraction because he lost. He lost to Canada. Five people he pardoned. Come on. Five. Five people he pardoned only because six Republicans turned against him. Oh, so you know what? I'm gonna just pardon all these guys? Who should I pardon? You probably asked, hey, Secretary of Defense or whoever, who should I pardon? Who's out there who's famous? We need a distraction. I need to pardon somebody so we could kind of make people talk about that. We don't want them to talk about how the terrorists, Republicans turned against me. We don't want to talk about that. How Canada basically won. I don't think I have time to do a revoke of that what I was trying to put out. I don't have time for that. That's exactly what's going through Trump's head. Because right now, some people are expecting him to do the revoke of the tariffs against Canada because it's been voted against by a fellow American. Democrats and Republicans came together against them just the other day, right? But now he wants to pardon criminals. I'm going to call them criminal. I don't care if they were football players or whatever. They all were charged and they went to prison or jail, right? So his job now, his main mission is to pardon criminals. Mr. Trump. It's crazy. It's some dirty, dirty work he's doing, right? Man's into dirty stuff. Washington. Court is in session. Court is in session, man. And he's getting a lot of them out, taking them all out, man. All these prisoners, all these people who done all types of illegal stuff. I'm hearing he released a whole bunch of people. Now, let's see your great leader, if you're American, how much people has Trump pardoned? They said 140, right? But I'm hearing that he released maybe way more than that. Pardoned way more than that. And all the MAGA people don't care. I'm hearing they don't care, man. So when these prisoners or these people who've been doing illegal stuff get released, if they rob you on the street, you could thank Mr. Trump if they rob you on the street. How much prisoners Trump released? How much prisoners did Trump release? This is shit. He's the biggest news. Let me tell you that. He loves the attention. I think he loves the attention because he knows his time's almost up. He knows his time's almost up. So he don't give a damn, man. He don't give one care. His time's almost up. The most dangerous thing is an old man in power, man, who's senile. Full list January 6 prisoners released by Trump, Newsweek. Right? This is the man. Full list of January 6 prisoners released. This must when they're doing all that protesting shit. Prisoners are being released after President Donald Trump on Monday pardoned or commuted the sentences of those convicted in the January 6, 2001 riots. Of course, he's going to do that, man. Trump's first action after returning to the White House was to pardon about 1,500 people who were convicted in the connection with the January 6 attacks. Two people died, I think, in that attack. That's where he should be impeached for, really. If people want to ask about, but he done that when he was, crying over getting kicked out and not being president. People, please like. So, January 6 attack and saw a mob of his supporters storm the Capitol in a bid to stop the certification of Joe Biden's 2020 election victory to keep Trump in power. So they're mad that Joe Biden was going to be the president. And they stormed the Capitol, they rioted, I think two people lost their lives, and then this guy, pardons 1,500 of them. So he's the pardon president. That's what he is. He's the pardon president. Giving pardons to a lot of people, right? Pardons to a lot of people. So could you guys trust him in this time with the Epstein stuff? Could you trust him with all this Epstein file shit? It's getting deep, people. Could you trust Mr. Trump with all these Epstein files? No, It's really confusing, right? Isn't it? This man is screwing around with the American public. He's playing around with you guys. If you're American, if you're not American, you don't give a shit. But good luck, because he's playing Monopoly with the American people. Playing Monopoly right now, and a lot of people are blind. We are blind. They don't see that this man's playing with their money, right? He's giving pardons to criminals. That's his pattern. He's giving pardons to people who are criminals. And that's what it is. If Obama was to do that, or anybody else, they would crucify them. They would say they need to step down as the president. They need to be impeached. How dare how dare they support criminals? Right? That's the definition of S pardon. So either way, what I'm saying is this guy is using all of these pardons, right, as a distraction. That's what it is. It's a distraction, people. People, please bring up the likes and subscribe. It's a distraction. That's what I'm saying. It's a big distraction, so people will not look in maybe to what's going on with the ICE. We're not going to hear about any probably case regarding the two lives that was taken in Minnesota. Those court cases or investigations are going to be silenced. You're not going to hear about that. You're going to stop hearing about the people getting deported, right? And then it's going to continue to anything else that Trump has done, right? Silence, quiet, nothing. You're not going to hear anything. So, yeah, giving pardons to criminals, that's Donald Trump's weapon, I guess, right? That's to make America great again, I guess. Is that the way? Is that the way to make America great again? Pardon criminals? He pardoned a whole bunch of them, a whole gang of them. He took a lot of people out of prison, tons of people out of prison. So I'm guessing some of these people might be ICE too. Some of the ICE people are probably criminals. Guarantee some of the ICE is criminals. An orange foot in the grave. The orange man, yes, an orange foot in the grave, man. Boy, all I know, he's doing too much. This man is doing too much. He is doing too much, man. Doing a lot. Old man doing a lot of things, man. Doing a lot of crazy shit. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah, he's doing a lot, man. He's giving pardons to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Every, a lot of people he's giving pardons to. So I'm guessing a lot of MAGA people support this man. They support him taking out criminals out of prison. They support him giving pardons to people who are drug addicts. They support him as long as they give some money. And the DEA and the green scam. Whatever, man. This man supports criminals. The so-called what's called "Make America Great Again." He supports criminals, people who were selling drugs to the American population, and then he's a hypocrite, saying that he got to stop the drugs from coming from South America. That's why he went to Venezuela and he kidnapped the president, because they're bringing in all this drugs, what's killing 300 or 200 or 300,000 Americans. So, if that's the case, why are you giving even any attention to these ex NFL players who are selling drugs? Why are you giving them any pardon? Why are you even clean it? That's like trying to clean up their background. Only because they are football players, because you looked on them as heroes, so they get a pass. As long as you're a football player, as long as you're a celebrity, as long as you have money, you could do anything and you're off. So that's what message is that? So that's what they're saying with the Epstein files. That what message are you giving to the people in that situation? You're basically saying if you have money and as long as you pay the government, right, we could do some side deals and then you won't be prosecuted. So I'm guessing these Epstein files is to extort people. It's kind of to extort these billionaires, these ones who have more money than these football players. So if you give Donald Trump this money, he's not going to lock you up for no Epstein situations because it seems that Little Wayne and Kodak Black was given donations, and that's why they did not go serve a long time in prison because they gave donations to some charity, aka the government. So you have to pay for your freedom. All these football players, they didn't really serve that much time because they had money. One served about 3 years. The one who was doing the trafficking with the cocaine and all that, he served 3 years. He could normally, if you didn't have any money, you would be serving like 50 years or something like that. Some football numbers. But tell me, MAGA people, do you agree with Trump's pardons? Someone said they don't give a damn. So that means you agree with whatever he does. If he pardons drug dealers, murderers, as long as he's doing something what you believe is right, you're good with it. But most of the MAGA people can't answer the question. They can't answer this question: Is do you right? And I'm asking you, do you support Trump giving pardons to drug dealers, to murderers? Yes or no? One in the chat for if you support him giving freedom, right? To murderers and drug dealers. Two in the chat, no. One in the chat if you support him, right? Giving pardons to the murderers and the drug dealers. Two, no. I want to know because so far his track record, he's supporting the drug dealers and the murderers. Yes, and I'm not making it up. Yes, he's doing a lot of things behind the scenes without you knowing. When you look it up, yes, the man is supporting people doing illegal stuff because you shouldn't be giving pardons to any. I don't care if you're football players. Don't give them any pardons. Make them still have that dirt on their record. So it says Donald Trump releases more than 200 prisoners. You hear that? Donald Trump loves criminals because guess what? He's a criminal. Some may say he's a criminal, so he likes to support. He likes to support criminals. Oh, this story is unavailable. What a coincidence! Oh, that story is unavailable. This guy, man, is something, man. So, MAGA supporters, do you support him supporting these pardons, these people to pardon, right? Because Little Wayne, for example, he gave him a free pass, made him not serve a lot of time. Lil Wayne just was helping with charities and Kodak Black. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So if you don't know, this is the update. January. So he gave pardons to six football players, six ex-football players. Do you guys know about this story? Right? All you have to do is Google. I don't know if this is viral or important, but this is an example of a man with power doing whatever he wants, right? How much people know of this, right? Trump pardons. And it's funny because the lady, Ghislaine Maxwell, before all of this, it's like he's doing like subliminals. Before all of this, she wanted to get like a pardon of clemency. She wanted to be off. So they think Trump is like, oh, you're giving out all types of freedom cards right now, right? She wanted clemency and saying, oh, basically, I will say Trump is not involved in the Epstein files and Bill Clinton, I'll clear his. I won't say he's involved in the Epstein files if I get clemency. People, please like, and subscribe. So, yes, I don't know if people are up to date what happened recently. I'll say it again. Trump pardons 5 ex-NFL players for crimes including drug trafficking. That's what he done, right? Washington, President Trump pardons 5 former professional football players Thursday, right, for various crimes ranging from perjury and drug trafficking. The pardons were announced, yeah, by the White House. Yeah, I said that before. The football, okay, as football reminds us, just because it's football, this is bullshit. I didn't want to read this. Because it's football, these guys get a pass. Now, let's let me go to the guys now to tell you what they've done. If you haven't heard earlier, Lewis, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, pleaded guilty in a drug case in which he used a cell phone to try to set up a drug deal not long after he was the top pick in the NFL in the 2000 NFL draft. Lewis, a running back, was named an All Pro once and was one time Pro Bowler. He was named in the 2003 AP Offensive Player of the Year. So, because he's a decorated football player, he gets off, right? Henry, who played for the Denver Broncos, plead guilty of conspiracy to traffic cocaine for financing a drug ring that moved the drugs between Colorado and Montana. He was running. He was the running back 3 times and one-time Pro Bowler. Who gives a shit? And I'm not going to continue. I already said it already, right? So he supports freeing giving people pardons and cleaning their records as long as he likes them, as long as they have money. That's what it is. As long as they have money, right? He will free them. That's why Nicki Minaj was all up in his ass the other day. She wanted to make sure she got that citizenship or whatever, her gold card, and that's why she said she's Trump's biggest fan. That's why she said all of that. That's why she talked against Don Lemon, right? She talked against Don Lemon for Trump, and she's gonna continue to support Trump because she's probably kind of working a pardon for her husband too, because he was charged with being with someone underage. So I guarantee she's looking for some type of pardon clearance for her husband, and her brother's into some dirt too. So I guarantee she's trying to make Trump give her brother a pardon quietly. Quietly. You see what's going on? This is the pardon president. This is the pardon president, people. The man who's given pardons for a lot of people, to a lot of people, right? Giving pardons to a lot of people. What do you all think about this? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's not going to end. When will it end? You got to ask yourself, when will this end? This craziness with this guy, this President Donald Trump. He's using all of this as a distraction because he lost the tariffs, the economic war against Canada. He lost recently. He got embarrassed because 6 Republicans voted against him around the same time as him doing this whole thing, this whole pardon stuff. So all of this is because he's angry. You got an angry president, an angry man. People, please if you can, all up in the chat, put that like down, show that support, right? So he's just angry right now. He's angry because he lost an economic war with Canada. So now he's like telling, oh, okay, America, you see, I'm going to put out a distraction by um, giving pardons out. So who else is going to give a pardon to? Should give a pardon. He doesn't want to give a pardon to Puffy because Puffy got dirt like Epstein, like something similar like that. He pardoned a trafficker. He pardoned a trafficker. There's many more types of people he has pardoned. I heard he even pardoned or he pardoned some some government person. Was it, which country is it? And he was a big drug kingpin or something like that. This is to show you that there's a lot of things behind the scenes a lot of people don't know. A lot of things behind the scenes people don't know. He gave a pardon to some South American president or something. I don't know if they arrested him. See, that's a story that you got to look it up. So I've been hearing people talk about it. Trump pardons South American leader. Let me see if that comes up. And if you done that, that is some nasty work. I've been hearing about that. He thinks criminals think he's cool, and it turns out they have a lot in common. Yeah, I like how you put that. I like how you put that. Pardons Honduran ex-president. See, this is to show you the nasty work, people. I found this. This is the nasty work of Donald Trump. This is one of his biggest pardons. Trump pardons Honduran ex-president who was convicted of drug crimes. How much of you guys know about this? But then he's going to Venezuela and locking up Maduro because of something like this. Now, President Trump has officially pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who U.S. officials said was at the center of one of the largest and most violent drug trafficking conspiracies in the world. Now, listen to this. A White House official not authorized to speak on the record confirmed the pardon was granted, and the Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed his release on Monday. Where did he go? Where did this guy go? This is what Trump's doing. I'm giving you this. This is on here. This is crazy. Donald Trump, you released this guy who was one of the big involved in one of the biggest violent drug trafficking shit, and then you go to Venezuela and lock up Maduro and you take it over for oil. It's for oil, people. So let's see. A White House official not authorized to speak. Okay, I'll pass that. Hernandez, who served 2 terms as the leader of the Central American nation, had been sentenced to 45 years for conspiring to import cocaine to the United States. You hear that? People, please bring up the likes, people. The pardon of such high profile convicted drug trafficker, however, has led to accusations of deceit and hypocrisy by Trump administration as it comes while the president and his team continue to escalate its military campaign against drug trafficking out of Venezuela. That don't make no sense. So, you release this man. American people, especially American people, listen to this and please bring up the likes and subscribe. Right? Does this make sense to you? Where's the excuses? Do you hear this madness? And this is not gone viral. You got to dig for this information. Clearly, a lot of MAGA people don't want this story out, or they refuse to listen to this. I ain't gonna say it over. Critics argue that the pardon of Hernandez undermines the administration's claims that they're focused on ending the drug trafficking. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, the top Democrat of the Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee on the Western Hemisphere, called the decision shocking. Yes, it is shocking to me too. Very shocking, people, because it's kind of hypocritical. He was the leader of one of the largest criminal enterprises that has ever been subject to the convictions in the U.S. courts. And less than 1 year into his sentence, President Trump give him a pardon, suggesting that the President Trump cares nothing about narcotic trafficking. Kane said Sunday on CBS, Face of a Nation. That's true. He don't give a damn. He's playing a lot of you people in America. Hernandez's time in office briefly overlapped with Trump's first term. In the time, Hernandez fostered support from Trump's administration after joining a small group of nations and moved to the Honduran embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Trump criticized Hernandez's prosecution, telling reporters last week that the people he respects told him Hernandez was treated very harshly and unfairly. So you see this shit, this man, yo, this is why he should be impeached. This is why he should be impeached, Trump. If somebody said, why should he be impeached? He should be impeached for this because you went to Venezuela, because you claimed that whatever Maduro was doing, working with the cartels, and this guy has a bad resume. And on top of it, today, right, what you're doing right now, or Thursday, you have pardoned 5 NFL players because they're ex NFL players from wrongdoing in the past of drug smuggling and conspiracy and doing all types of illegal stuff. So you are gonna pardon them, right? And you even pardon the ex president of Honduras, right? Trump teased the pardon in social media posts last week. Congratulations to Juan Orlando Hernandez on your upcoming pardon, he wrote. Make Hernandez great again? Make Hernandez great again? Yo, people, please like, right? Um, make Hernandez great again. That's what Trump put out. According to court documents, Hernandez abused his position to facilitate importation of tons of cocaine to the United States. But then you're going after Ryan Wedding, and you're going after the president of Venezuela. So hear this. This is what this guy brought. According to the court documents, Hernandez abused his position to facilitate importation of tons of cocaine into the United States in exchange to receive millions of dollars in drug money from some of the largest and most violent drug trafficking organizations in this hemisphere. So, what are we doing here? What what is Trump doing? He must know a lot of MAGA people don't read and look up information. Judge P. Kevin Castell, who presided over the case, described Hernandez as a two faced politician hungry for power. Former Attorney General Merrick Garland stated that Hernandez abused his presidency to operate the country as a narco state where violent traffickers operated with near total impunity. Hernandez has long maintained that he was innocent of the charges and he had been appealing his convictions while serving his sentence at the U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in West Virginia. It is far from the first time one of Trump's pardons have drawn scrutiny. He has pardoned a number of political business allies since returning to office, prompting some accusations that Trump is operating a pay-to-play scheme. That's what it sounds like. Yes, pay to play. As long as you give some money to charity, as long as he gets some type of money, he's gonna let you off like Nicki Minaj, like Kodak Black, like Lil Wayne. As long as you show the money, you're gonna be off. So this is what it is. As far as Trump pardons has drawn scrutiny, he has pardoned a number of politicians and business allies. They include MAGA loyalists like cryptocurrency. I heard of that executive with ties to his family and crypto firm, and dozens of allies who tried to overturn his 2020 election loss to former President Joe Biden. So this don't look good. This doesn't look good, man. All the stuff he's doing is crazy. Now he's giving pardons to football players. He's giving pardons to rappers, and this is the biggest one: giving pardons to a president of who was doing a lot of trafficking of drugs. So he already arrested a president, right, of Honduras, a former president. He already arrested him, and now he done that to this guy from Venezuela. He got him and his wife. So this is the guilt. How come no one's talking about this? How come they're really trying to suppress this story, people, as I'm giving you? This one with let me bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back, right? Trump pardons Honduran ex-president who was convicted of drug crimes. He's probably an agent, probably a sellout for America. How much of you are talking about this? This should still be talked about. He pardoned the Honduran president, right, who was involved in a lot of drug trafficking with violent cartels. And they arrested him for that. So why is he? Where is he now? Where is he? That's what I want to know. Where is this guy? Where is he? Is he in America or is he in South America back again? That's the question, especially if you're American taxpayer. Where's this guy? Where did the ex president of Honduras go? Where is he? Where is he? Trump plans to pardon former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez. Why? Because does he have any business deals? Where's this guy right now? Did they put him back to his? Did they bring him back to his country? Now this is some of the news. What happened? Trump plans to pardon former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, like the football players, right? Former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, second from right, is taken into handcuffs to await the aircraft as he's extradited to the United States. See, America will go all the way for your ass if they want you. And people, please bring up the likes and subscribe. So, West Palm Beach, Florida. President Donald Trump said Friday that he will pardon former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez who in 2024 was convicted for drug trafficking and weapons charges and sentenced for 45 years. So he can't pardon that lady Maxwell. What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. She only got 20 years, mostly for perjury. He can't give her a pardon. That's what she's fighting for. The president explained his decision on social media by posting that, according to many people that I greatly respect, Hernandez was treated very harshly and unfairly. So, you hear that? That's what Trump said. He was treated very harshly and unfairly. A man who was sentenced to 45 years for working with cartels and like what are you saying here? This is like the Twilight Zone. Could you guys believe this? In March of last year, Hernandez was convicted in the US court of conspiring to import cocaine into the US and had served 2 terms as a leader of the Central American nation, roughly 10 million people. So, man, Hernandez has been appealing his conviction and serving time at the U.S. Penitentiary, Hazleton in West Virginia. A lawyer for Hernandez, Renato C. Stable, expressed gratitude for Trump's actions. A great injustice has been righted, and we are hopeful for the future partnership of the United States and Honduras, Stable said. I gotta look up where this guy is. Thank you, President Trump, for making sure that justice was served. We look forward to President Hernandez triumph return to I hope this guy ain't president anymore. Because if he's president, damn, right? Rest in peace, Virginia Guffrey. Your courage in speaking the truth will never be forgotten. Yes. A separate lawyer for Hernandez, Sabrina Schwarf, declined to comment. The post of okay, so this man just took a criminal out of prison, man. Say like you got to think of it. What they charged the president of Honduras with, a lot of serious crimes. He was supposed to serve 45 years, and Trump pardoned him. And Trump won't even pardon Puffy in prison. So what is going on here? This leads me to think, right? To really lean to the side of people saying that basically, and I've done a podcast on this. This is a gangster president. A gangster president goes by his own rules, doesn't care about what anybody says. He's just doing whatever he wants, But that looks very hypocritical that you released the president of Honduras and he was charged with these crimes. No different. He has less evidence on Maduro from Venezuela. He has less evidence for that man. So are you going to pardon him? You pardon all these football players. Are you going to pardon that man? Probably will. Let's see. That's why you're not hearing anything. You notice you're not hearing anything about Nicolas Maduro. You're not hearing nothing about his wife. You notice you're not hearing anything about that. You notice? He pardoned this guy, Juan Orlando. Let me look at him. Juan Orlando, who's the president of Honduras. That's what I want to know. Because if he's still the president of Honduras, he's basically an agent. That's what he is. I think that's what he is. He's the rat. You must have gave up a lot of shit, right? To come out of prison. So they put somebody else there now, of course, right? They put somebody else there, but where's that guy? Where is he? Where is he? We will never know, right? The president of Honduras, yeah, Nasri Asfora. I can't even pronounce his name, but it's a different person. Different person, probably somebody who's really good with America or America controls. All right, so guaranteed it's somebody who America controls. But enough of that. The main topic is all these pardons Mr. Trump has given. The big story is these football players, these ex NFL players who got the pardon, right? And let's see how much other people are going to get the pardon. Let's see who's next, right? I know some people in the Epstein files might get the pardon too. It's possible they're going to get all pardon. If a president who was involved with a lot of drugs and cartels got a pardon, that means anybody could get a pardon. That's all I'm saying. That means anyone could get a pardon. It's possible. Anyone could get a pardon. You got to look at it. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Courage is speaking. Rest in peace. Yep. Anyone could get a pardon, man. I just read you about the Honduras president. Anyone could get a pardon. So that means don't look for people in the Epstein files, even if their name comes up, that they're going to be serving a lot of years in prison. It's not going to happen. This guy was supposed to serve 45 years, and he came out of the Trump gave him a pardon. The Honduras president, right? That's real bad, really bad. But guaranteed, Puffy might try again. Puffy should come out of prison because it was just two charges, right? Two charges. But I think Mr. Trump don't want to be associated with any type of situations Puffy was involved in, right? But either way, they're bringing up his name. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, right? This is the Down to Earth Network. The Down to Earth Network is on Spotify. The Down to Earth Network is on Apple Podcasts, many podcast platforms, right? So next time you see something about Trump, you're going to always have to question it. All the MAGA people who came in here, you lost. You have no argument. Y'all look stupid tonight, right? You lost. You have no argument. You've been quiet for the last couple of days. I noticed all the MAGA people. You've probably been doing some research yourself. about the person who you worship and realize that he has done a lot of dumb shit, right? A lot of you realize Trump has done a lot of dumb shit. You probably are not reading. You probably don't do research enough to know who the hell you're praising. Because if you knew who you're praising, Donald Trump, you might not even mention his name, right? Donald Trump is supporting criminals. Donald Trump is supporting criminal behavior. He has released thousands of criminals, right? People who were rioting on Washington or the Capitol. He has released 1,500 of them, or cleared their record. Rappers who were involved with drugs and had weapons offenses, he has pardoned them. And now his recent thing is give pardons to some football players, some who were involved with drug dealing and trafficking. So what's the message he's giving you guys? What's the message? Is it a positive message or a negative message? What's the message? And people, please like, and subscribe. He's not doing a lot of stuff good for you guys, man. And that's why Putin is talking. The Russian president is talking. Bruh, who you're kidding? We all know MAGA don't fucking read. Holy. I wish the other guy was on here. I wish the other guy was on here, man. Jimmy was talking a whole bunch. All he could say is Trump, 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 Trump. And then there's another lady on here, Edith. She couldn't even say, she couldn't defend anything. She couldn't defend anything. But Trump knows. He knows there's a lot of idiots who are following him. That's what it is, right? So what? 70 million people, they said, voted for him out of whatever, 70 million people. So there's a lot of people who are dummies. There's a lot of people who are dummies. That's all I got to say. A lot of people are dummies. MAGA don't read. Not good. Well, it kind of looks like that because when you seen that lady Pam Bondi in the court the other day, I don't know how she has that position. She don't seem too smart. That lady, she doesn't seem too smart. That lady, the head of the Department of what Justice. If that's supposed to be the head of the Department of Justice, damn, maybe that's why everybody's getting friggin' pardon right now. It's a pardon party, right? He's giving pardons for everybody. How you guys feel about that? There's some brave people out there I respect, even if we don't all agree, but is a didn't earn it. You say Pam Bondi didn't earn it. How did she earn it? I wonder how she really earned it. How did she earn it? He owed her. I looked it up. He kind of owed her. He owed that lady. It was a favor, kind of, right? But all this stuff, like I said, it shall continue. Trump always has new things he's bringing up. This is a distraction. Let me say it again. This is a distraction, right? Ridiculous. This is a distraction from a lot of shit what's going on, right? This pardon stuff. And I don't think some people might see it in the social media, but it's still kind of not really getting talked about, even though they're ex-football players. What I just brought up is, and I'm surprised no one's talking about it, but I'm gonna dig more into that story about the Honduras ex-president who was supposed to serve 45 years, and he was basically running a big drug state in his country, all types of stuff. The same thing what they're charging the president of Venezuela with, right? Don't be surprised if that guy gets pardoned. Don't be surprised he comes out of prison. It's a way to take over the country, right? Don't be surprised if Nicolas Maduro is not even serving a long time and then he's released somewhere we don't know. Because that's what they done with the Honduran president. When they charged him 45, they went for him, they captured him, they were gonna give him 45 years, but Trump pardoned him. They said it was too harsh and all that shit. But now look what he's doing. Ridiculous, man. This guy has dirt all over him in his own charges. 34 charges. Donald Trump. 34 charges, people. Mr. Donald Trump. Why? Make America great again. You hear that? Make America great again. Is it great now? Is it great now with Donald Trump fucking up shit? Is it good? Is it good right now? The MAGA people cannot tell me about if they agree with him freeing criminals or, I mean, giving pardons to criminals. The MAGA people cannot tell me anything. But people, please like, and subscribe. The MAGA people cannot tell me that. They just wanted the oil. Yep. Notice you haven't heard anything since. Yep. He seized those oil tankers. Yes. It was all about the money, bruh. Yes. It was all about that. And he used the excuse once again. It's the drugs. The same thing he has an excuse against Canada. The reason he put tariffs on is because the fentanyl, the drugs. The same thing why he gave China tariffs because they got the ingredients to make fentanyl, the drugs. You see, all of it when you read it and look it up, especially with Canada and China, it's because of the drug. It's the drugs. That's what he's saying. It's the drugs. Same thing now with, like we were saying, it's the oil he really wants in Venezuela. The oil. But who gave some info? Remember, they got El Chapo locked up in America. They got that. They had the leader, well, the ex president of Honduras locked up for a while. So they've been now he's free. Who did he give up? He probably talked a lot of shit. He gave up a lot of information. The other day, Ryan Wedding, the guy from Canada, big drug lord or drug kingpin, after he they didn't capture him, that man gave up himself to the embassy. I heard he gave himself up. America made it look like they captured him. No, he gave himself up. So obviously, the big picture, these guys know they can make deals with Donald Trump. A lot of criminals, that's the message. That's dangerous that you can make a deal with the president of the United States. Think of it. The message is I can make a deal with the president of the United States to get out of any criminal type of activity. That's the message. So if you're American, guess what? You got a gangster president who doesn't care and he'll do deals with drug lords, drug kingpins, anybody to get off. To get like I don't know what he's getting from them. He's getting something. I don't know. He's getting some type of shit. I know in Venezuela he's getting the oil. Uh, uh, this guy from Honduras, he must have got some intel, right? This guy Ryan Wedding, who was wanted, and America made it known they wanted to get him. He gave up himself after like 2 months or so when he was spotlighted, right? He's caught. Trump is a transactional person. The one question all billionaires ask themselves is is it what is in it for me? That's how he operates. Greed overall. He doesn't give a flying F yet about the people. It's true. Yes, MAGA people. That's true. He don't give a damn about you guys. He just cares all about the money. It's all about the money. And he already disrespected people years ago. Like I don't know if people don't they don't have good memory and they don't these MAGA people who say they support Trump never heard what he said. He said if you want to the best he's saying Americans believe in anything what they see on TV. Trump put that out there. Americans believe in anything they say they see on TV. Let me see that because I said that a couple of times. Trump says Americans, because I've been saying this a lot. Believe in everything they see on TV. That, yeah, and that's bad. That's bad. He's saying basically a lot of Americans are dumb. I'm watching things on television. Why people believe the lies Donald Trump tells. All this is a prayer. Pay attention. Trump keeps lying about everything every day. Is Trump TV lying on him? Why do people believe the big lie? Because Americans don't. Okay, why Trump is actually saying. So what? America is done for. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The empire is falling. The empire is falling, people. The empire is falling. Now please like, and subscribe. The empire is falling. Reality shape says confidence Trump dips. Fewer now say they support him. That's recently. So he's losing support. Confidence in Trump's dips and fewer say they support his policy plans. Well, after you see that he's giving pardons to everybody, it will happen. He's giving pardons to all these criminals. It will happen. Trump's approval rating stands at 37, down from 40 in the fall. By more than 2-1, Americans say the administration's actions have been more than they expected. Okay, see? 50% rather than better 21%. Only about a quarter of Americans today, 27, say they support all or most of Trump's policies and plans, down from 35% when he returned to office last year. That change has come entirely among Republicans. A new Pew Research Center survey that 8,500,000 U.S. adults conducted by January 20th to 26 also finds that across 6 key qualities and abilities needed to serve as president, more Americans express little or no confidence in Trump and then say they are extremely or very confident in him. It's all fucking split, man. It's all split. It's all split. This guy's crazy, man. He's senile. He's an old man. He's turning 80, and the same thing he was making fun of Biden for. He's doing similar shit. The Save Act is the only way forward. You know the rules. The Save Act. The Save Act. I don't really. I think I looked that up before, but I could look that up now. Politics, politics, politics. All I know, the man pardoned 5 NFL players that were guilty of shit in the past. They served their time. And it's hypocritical because at least 2 or 3 of them were charged with drug offenses, right? 2 or 3 of them were charged with like conspiracy of distributing drugs. So Trump is saying one thing to America and then doing another thing, right? So he is saying, "Oh, we got to fight this drug problem," but then he's giving pardons to drug dealers or ex NFL players who are doing selling drugs. He's giving pardons to president of Honduras who was deeply in bringing drugs into America, and that probably caused a lot of American lives. And he felt that it was too harsh, and this guy was supposed to get 45 years, but he didn't get 45 years. Where is he now? It's a mystery. Where's that? Where's that president of Honduras? It's a mystery. No one knows where he is. Right? So all these other stuff, the Epstein files and all that shit, people think people are gonna go to prison for it. Not under Trump. Not under Trump. I'm sorry. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's going to happen, people. Let's see. What are you calling the Save Act? Save Act. Okay, the SAVE Act, also known as the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, is proposed federal law aimed to ensure that Only U.S. citizens can register and vote in the federal elections. Introduced as H.R. 22 in the 119th Congress, the bill requires individuals to provide documentary proof of U.S. So what does that have to do with this shit? That has nothing to do. We're not going to change it. What I'm talking about, this man is giving pardons to criminals. That's what he's doing. He has a history of it. He's been giving pardons to hundreds of people, right? And then on the other hand, saying that we got to stop drugs from coming in from Mexico, or the cartels are responsible for uh, hundreds of thousands of lives, American lives. But then you're giving pardons to people who's been trafficking drugs. It doesn't make no sense. Make it make sense. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. Now it's NFL. First it was rappers. Now and then it was maybe some prisoners, people been locked up, and now it's NFL athletes. Um, who's next? Epstein people. Is that who he's gonna pardon soon? Right? What are you saying, Shirley Powell? Is that who he's gonna pardon soon? Some people part of the Epstein whole list. Is that what's gonna happen? And then you're not gonna know about it, like what happened with the Honduras president, the ex Honduras president. Is that what's gonna happen? No one wants to talk about that. I heard people tell me about that Honduras president a while ago, and just looking it up, it's terrible, man. It is terrible. Makes America look stupid. So make America great again? Nah, man. It's not making America great again. It's making America look stupid again. That's what it is. That's what it is. Making America look stupid again, like 9/11. They went 9/11, no weapons of mass destruction was found. Remember that? Remember that. The list goes on. Bad. And Obama was a distraction too. Remember that. Remember that. He was going after the cartels too, Obama. But he didn't do what Trump was doing in public, right? Save Act. He's doing all types of shit, man. Constantly. Every day. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth Podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, right? Down to Earth Network on Spotify. So if you want to listen to the audio, we got that. But yeah, I don't know what else could I say, but all the MAGA people, you lost. You're losing. MAGA is losing. MAGA people, you're losing. You're not winning anymore. Or if you thought you were winning, you're losing. And the country's going to hell. America's going to hell. It was already going to hell, but now it's going to even more hell because you got this guy in power. And people are actually, I guess they're listening to him, but you know, we could see a split. We could see a split right now. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This episode is Donald Trump giving pardons to these NFL players and giving pardons to celebrities and giving pardons to politicians and I wonder what those politicians were doing. It makes you wonder, what were these politicians doing? I want to know. What were they charged with? Probably some nasty stuff too, right? We all know what the football players are charged with, most of them, with drugs. What were the politicians charged with? You want to know? The politicians pardoned by Trump? Hmm. Pardoned by Trump. Politicians pardoned by Trump, man. Trump's the biggest character in the news. He's the biggest character right now. Why did Trump pardon five? Okay, they're gonna bring that up. I want to know the politicians. They want to bring up the NFL pardons right now. Let's see. List of Trump's pardons by commutations for GOP. Dirty. List of Trump's pardons and commutations for GOP lawmakers. After President Donald Trump on Friday commuted the sentence of former Representative George Santos of New York, who was jailed for fraud, the former congressman became one of nearly a dozen other GOP lawmakers to have been commuted or pardoned by Trump. See? Santos, who was expelled from Congress in December 2023, pleaded guilty in August 2024 in multiple counts of wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and campaign finance violations. That's someone he pardoned. He was sentenced in April 2025 to 87 months in federal prison and began serving his term at the Federal Correctional Institute for Fairton, New Jersey. In July, his release came less than 3 months into his sentence. Ah, mm-mm-mm. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Why it matters. The U.S. Constitution vets the president with the power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in the cases of impeachment. President Presidential pardons are only in relation to federal crimes where governors may pardon at the state level. Mm. Trump has issued a slew of controversial and high profile pardons, including relieving around 1,500 people convicted in the connection with the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. He's commuted the sentences of over a dozen other people, including leaders of the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys. Oh, of course. The moments after taking office again earlier this year, he has also commuted the sentences of many political allies, some who were convicted of assisting in preparing fraudulent tax returns, conspiracy to commit extortion, and money laundering, among others, including lawmakers and activities like, holy shit, oh God, money laundering and extortion. That sound like mafia shit. And he gave them pardons. Okay. Like many presidents, Trump has often issued numerous pardons at the beginning and the end of his term. Former President Joe Biden pardoned his son, of course. So it's like all out, free for all. Let's just pardon anybody, right? So that's why he pardoned these NFL players. But there's all of a show. All of a show. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So much people, man. It's bad. Law and order, president, my ass. You're right. Law and order, president, my ass. Look how much people. Michael Grime, former representative for New York, May 28th, 2005. John Rowland, former representative for Connecticut and the state of former May 28th, 2025. Rick Renzi, former representative of Arizona, January 19th, 2001. Robin Hayes, former U.S. representative for North Carolina, January 13th, 2021. Randall Duke, man, look how much names I'm saying. Cunningham, former representative for California, January 13th, 2001. Mark Schlesinger, former representative for Michigan, December 23rd, 2020. Christopher Collins, former representative for New York, December 22nd, 2020. Duncan Hunter. It keeps going. All these damn people, all these politicians. Now, don't you see? This guy is a big gas criminal, man. Gangster president, like I said before. Gangster president Mike Trump is. What people are saying, former Representative George Santos, Attorney Joseph Murray posted on their client's X account on Friday. God bless President Donald Trump, the greatest president in the United. This is like what he likes to hear, people to stroke his fucking ego. People, please subscribe and bring up the likes. This sounds like what Nicki Minaj done, and that's why she got her gold card or whatever. Conservative activities, Scott Pressler wrote on X post Friday. President Trump commuted George Santos' sentence. It was a witch hunt from the very beginning, and criminals that have committed violent crimes haven't received a 7-year sentence that he did. Welcome back, George. President Donald Trump wrote in a Truth Social post Friday. He loves his platform. At the least, Santos had is the courage, conviction, and the intelligence to always vote Republican. So as long as you support the Republicans, you are good. Just support the Republicans and you get a pardon. That's what it seems like. Give some money and you get a pardon, people. And people, please bring up the likes and subscribe. So that's what it seems. George has been a solidarity confinement. What? In solitarily confinement for long stretches of time, and by all accounts has been horribly mistreated. I keep hearing this shit. Horribly mistreated. President Trump. Horribly mistreated. They should lock your ass up. I would like to see if any. It looks like Trump needs to get locked his ass up because all these people been doing all these illegal shit and he's giving pardons for. Now you see the dirt. It's good to read and do your research, man. Read, do research, please. Don't believe all these social media posts and stuff. I encourage people, my listeners, watchers, whatever you want to call it, supporters, go do your own research. And when you do your research, you'll see, like with anything I'm talking about, the real, because I only talk the real. And so far, man, there's a list, there's a Bible of people Mr. Trump has pardoned who are not really honest, good people, right? So he's been supporting ex drug dealers. He's been releasing presidents a president from Honduras who was big with the drugs and the cartels. Um, NFL players who are involved with drug trafficking and selling cocaine. The list goes on. This is Donald Trump releasing people from the riots on the Capitol Hill. Remember, 2 officers died. I think 2 people died. Security personnel, they died. He still released 1,500 of pardon 1,500 of the people who were involved in that. It's over, man. Living in a crazy time. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What's next? We shall see. By tomorrow, yes, by tomorrow you'll hear some more stuff. But yeah, you could check out the Down to Earth Network on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify Podcasts, all your podcast platforms, right? He also let an entire Mexican cartel family into the U.S. in May. They reside in San Diego and all 17 members of El Chapo's family. That's crazy. That's crazy what you just told me. And you know what? When I done all this research, I'm not surprised, Sasamo. I'm not surprised. Yes, when I looked up the Honduras president, the ex Honduras president, and how the man was supposed to get 45 years and he pardoned him. That's crazy. It's all because people have to kiss his feet or call him king or something, then he'll probably release you, right? So if that's true, that's some news for me. He also led an entire Mexican cartel family into the US. They reside in San Diego, 17 members of the family of El Chapo's family. I could believe that because the guy they caught, the Canadian drug kingpin who they caught, was working for El Chapo's family. And they're saying that it's El Chapo's sons who kind of ratted on that guy, Ryan Wedding, the big Canadian drug kingpin. They're saying it there's a split in the Sinaloa organization, right? And the guy who's in charge now, I forgot his name, but the side what is still loyal to El Chapo is his sons, and they basically sold out Ryan Wedding. I don't know why they sold him out. If he was supposed to help them, I think because the FBI was looking for Mr. Ryan Wedding and put his face out there in the media. So maybe that guy might get a pardon too. I'm thinking they got him, so maybe he might get a pardon too. I don't know if you guys are up to date with the Canadian ex Olympic snowboarder who they was America's Most Wanted, and they accuse him of being a big drug, whatever international drug kingpin, and that he was responsible for bringing in a lot of the drugs in America. Now, similar story like the Honduras president, ex Honduras president. I'm not surprised if he gets pardoned too. I would not be surprised. And people, please like, and subscribe. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a pardon also, right? Anybody could get pardoned now, no matter how guilty it seems, no matter how guilty they look. Anybody. All you have to do is praise Trump, kiss his feet, kiss his hand, kiss his ass, right? Support him and pay him or put some money down and you could get off. That's what it seems like. That's what's been going on, right? But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Got some more episodes coming up, right? I'm going to be talking about America and Russia, about the satanic stuff. Russia accuses America of basically being involved in that, and it's showing now. That's what Russia put out. Russia put out that basically America is involved in Satanism and promotes Satanism even in Russia. And that's what Russia's fighting against right now, Satanists. So for sure, I'll be doing an episode on that because Mr. Putin has actually banned this any Satanism in his country, and now he's saying that you guys should look out in America for the same shit because now it's showing right now. He's giving you guys hints that it's showing with this whole Epstein stuff. So you're gonna see how this case is kind of handled. Proof. So if this case, if they're not gonna prosecute a whole bunch of billionaires, then he's right. I'm hearing in the news that they're saying if the names start to spill out for the Epstein files, it's gonna create a lot of problems in America because you won't leave the people on the list. Even though people have been speculating, they're saying you will not believe the people on the list. It will shock you. Well, it won't shock me. I won't be surprised, not me, but it's gonna shock some other people. I could bet. I could bet it will shock a lot of people. Why are you saying OG kicks? It's gonna shock a lot of people, right? It won't shock me, and probably a lot of those people will get pardons because the worst people I've been hearing and doing my research been getting pardons. And people, please like, bring up the likes and subscribe. But yes, a lot of nasty people been getting pardons. Cut all the federal funds going to all state governments. We'll see. But yo, right now, this man is dirty. I done the research. I don't think a lot of people dig deep or other content makers dig deep for these stories what are not plastered everywhere, which should be plastered everywhere. You want to discredit Mr. Trump? Do research on what he's been doing with all these pardons and shit. They're all in cahoots. You're probably right. Because the most craziest shit I'm seeing, besides these football players, is what the Honduras president was doing and how he got off. Like, Trump felt sorry for him. That guy must be a flipper. He must be a spy. That guy has to be a spy. 100% that guy's a spy. 100% people. That guy is a spy for America. 100 any states that want more state welfare can tax the people in their state. Good luck to that, John Stevens. Let's see if that will happen. Let's see. Let's see what if it would happen. But it looks like President Trump likes criminals. President Trump supports criminals, right? Because how much of you know about the Honduras president? I ask MAGA supporters, do you support him giving pardons to criminals? And none of them can answer that question. They go around it and say just, oh, Trump, Trump, I support Trump, Trump is king. They cannot answer that question. Do you support a man who pardons criminals that are selling drugs or trafficking in America? And some of them are born Americans too, right? So, like I said, the Honduras president made a deal with America. I don't know what type of dirty deal, what they came together to make, but he was kidnapped, or I mean, he was arrested and brought to America. And I just told you there's certain politicians who are dirty too, and he pardoned a whole bunch of them. Trump pardoned a whole bunch of politicians. Nasty work. Nasty work. What next? So I think he knows his time's up soon. He must see, oh, I'm 80 years old. I'm getting old. In the next 3 years, well, he's turning 80. Next 3 years, he'll be 82, going on 83 or so. After, like, when his presidency is supposed to be up. So he feels, man, before I really turn fully senile, let me do all of this shit. I'm going to pardon who I want to pardon, and I'm going to do as much damage as I can. Right? People, please subscribe. John Stevens. People, please subscribe. Bring up the likes. Bring up the likes. If you're watching, support the network, right? Down to Earth Network on Spotify. Down to Earth Network on Apple Podcasts. Down to Earth Network on iHeartRadio and all podcast platforms you could think of, right? We're everywhere. But yes, you worship politicians? No, no, no. Oh, who? Politicians? Oh, you must be talking to somebody else. These politicians, Mr. Trump, he's the one who's protecting them. He got all of them off, pardoned a whole bunch. There's a whole list, any of them. So, yeah, you don't have to care about these politicians. They're just crooks. These guys are criminals, like Trump. Politicians are criminals just like Trump, just like him. And that's why he pardoned them, right? He pardoned them because they're criminals. Never vote for any Democrat ever. You never, but you voted for Trump? I don't think, John Stevens, you voted for Trump? My thing is, if you do support Trump, do you support these pardons? That's all I want to know. From all the MAGA people, I just want to know if you support these pardons, if you support Trump. I want to know. And people, please bring up the likes and subscribe, right? I just want to know from all the MAGA people who say they love Trump, if they support all these pardons he's doing. His latest pardon is NFL players, and basically saying they're like heroes, and they should not have this. Let's clean this off of their record, because it's been years, and you know what? It's nonsense, even though they were selling drugs and doing all types of stuff, right? Fraud. Let's give the fraudsters a pardon. I don't really like Trump. Only reason I voted for Trump was See, that's what happened. See, there's a big population that don't really like Trump, and I knew that happened. The only reason they voted for Trump because they didn't like Kamala. They didn't want to see Kamala as a president or Biden, right? So that's the only reason they voted for Trump. Well, he's only stealing your money. Oh, Lee, yeah, yep. He's stealing a lot right now from Venezuela. He's stealing a lot right now, right? No, I didn't like Biden either. Yes, so that's why the hate for Biden and Kamala made people really support Trump. That's what happened. The hate for them made people support Trump. So who's next he's going to pardon? Who you think next he will pardon? He's not going to pardon Puffy. Puffy tried that, right? The government is a united front. They're both on the same team. You're probably right in a way. That's why the Republicans came together the other day with some Democrats to stop the vote for tariffs, what Trump tried to put through. You're right. Trump tried to do tariffs on Canada, and some Republicans came together, six of them, right, just the other day with Democrats, and they voted against that shit. They stopped Trump. So you're right. The government the government is a united front. They're both on the same team. I agree with you, Sasamo. They're both on the same team, the government, right? All one. So that's why they stopped that shit from going on. Canada won. That whole thing with your guy trying to make it look like he could bully Canada and put all these terrorists on. It didn't work. All those tariff stuff did not work against Canada. They stopped that stuff. How do you guys feel? And people, please bring up the likes and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Yeah, how do you feel? They lost. Trump lost. I'm waiting for that veto. I'm waiting for Trump to do the veto if he's going to try to veto that vote, right? Because he lost. No more tariffs. I tried to find a Canadian product to boycott, but never found one yet. There probably is Canadian stuff, but it might not be like the lumber. You can't boycott the lumber. It's not a product you're going to see. You can't boycott certain minerals and stuff. It's not a product you're going to see. You can't boycott the electricity, what's coming from the Great Lakes and from Quebec, what goes into the East Coast. That's something you're not going to see. Um, Canadian products like food and stuff, it's not that really coming from Canada. It's not really those stuff. It might be like ingredients, certain maybe ingredients, what might be coming in regard for food, but most likely it's like lumber, right, and things like that, natural resources. So you can't. It's hard to boycott that. It's really hard to boycott that. But in Canada, we could easily boycott American products because American products is commercial. You know, when you go into Walmart, most of Walmart products is American. They are dismissing the tariffs on Canada. Yeah, 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 I know. So basically, Canada has resources, but manufacturing nothing. Yeah, they have manufacturing. Canada and America share manufacturing, if you don't know. A lot of stuff are shared, right? A lot of stuff is shared. Why would someone boycott Canada products? Tell him most of it is building materials. That's what I've been saying. Most of it is building materials, it's lumber, it's minerals, it's a whole bunch of stuff what helps to power and build America up, what's coming from Canada. That's what it is. It's not like frosted flakes or like chocolate bars and pop and stuff like Burger King. It's not that. We need more tariffs on Canada agricultural grains and meats. Are you guys getting that really? Is it are you guys really getting that? I don't even know. Like that's not gonna affect Canada. Nothing, all the tariffs just hurt America. That's why I'm basically telling you, all these tariffs have hurt America. Nothing is hurting Canada. That's why those guys, those Republicans went against it. That's why they're begging. One of the Republicans from Washington was saying that we need Canada to be our allies because Canada's economy is intertwined with Washington's. Something a lot of Americans don't know, right? It will help American farmers. I'm hearing it's been hurting American farmers. The opposite. I've been hearing the opposite has been hurting American farmers. And I've been hearing for tourism, it's been hurting them badly in Las Vegas and Florida. And that's facts. That's what I've been hearing, right? So you got to do your research, right? No, it won't. John Stevens, do research. I'm a farmer. Well, maybe you're the farmer who he's given some support to. Recently, they put out some support for some farmers, but there's been people been complaining in America. I seen them come out on here and saying that things been rough for them, and even the groceries been rough. Right? Gave them the meat industry to Argentina. Yeah. So Canada's not suffering from any tariffs. It's been America has been suffering. Anything that's incoming that's a tariff on another country, the American people pay for it, not the other country. Yes. Let me read that again for the people who don't understand in the back. Anything that's incoming that's a tariff on another country, the American people pay for it. Yeah, and that's fact. That's facts. But back to this man with the pardons. He probably will start to pardon Epstein people, right? China's the largest buyer of soybeans. Yep. In the world, China hasn't bought not one soybean. No, that's not true. Really, when I done a podcast yesterday, America and China are still doing deals. They're still working together. As much as the shit they put in the media, they're still working together, right? They're still working together. And they're still doing certain trades, right? But if Americans pay the tariffs, why is Canada so pissed? No, Canada's not pissed. The tariffs they don't pay. Canada's not pissed. Canadians are laughing. You got that wrong, buddy, John Stevens. Canadians are not pissed. They're laughing. They feel sorry for Americans because Trump lets Argentina move a lot. Tell the soybean farmers that. Well, when I looked up, when you look up the details, because it's mathematics, that Trump is still dealing with China in regards to soybeans, right? Um, Soybeans are actually coming from America to China. Do you know that? The Chinese are buying soybeans from America. They're getting a lot of their soybeans from America. Did you know that? No. Americans are laughing. Can't be laughing at Canada because no one is suffering. No one's losing no jobs. There's no tourism lost from Americans. It's Americans in Las Vegas been losing jobs, right? Florida depends on Canadian tourism, right? Um, Las Vegas depends on Canadian tourism. 70% of uh, tourism comes from Canada. So what is Canada losing? Canadians aren't pissed about tariffs. They're pissed about immigration. Yes, you're right, because a lot of people had summer house in Florida, vacations. That's what they're pissed about. Hey, Stevens, you don't know. Canadians are more pissed about the immigration. They're more angry about a lot of people coming from India. That's what they're mad about. They're not mad about any tariffs because Canada doesn't depend on America. Just depend on America. Let me inform you and educate you. Canada has a lot of international partners. Never depended on America for food. The only thing Canada depends on from America mainly is entertainment. They don't depend on America for nothing, really. So what are you talking about? Right now, Canada's dealing with China for vehicles and threatening jobs. A lot of Canadians are crying because they're going to lose their jobs because GM and certain American manufacturers are going to be running away or going to get kicked out of Canada, basically. So Canadians are not suffering. It's Americans suffering. Let me tell you that. We won't miss the Canadians that aren't coming to America. Yes, they are. I talked to some Americans. You were just in a box. You think I haven't talked to other Americans and told me about Las Vegas? You think I don't know anybody from there? Yes, I do. I know a couple individuals from Las Vegas. They say it's just a strip and it's terrible down there. 70%, do the math. It's only 30% you're dependent on from the rest of the world and Americans. 70%. And Florida, the snowbirds, a lot of them ain't going there. So stop talking shit. Canada is your tourism. Yes. It's like saying in the Caribbean, oh, you lose the Canadians and the Americans and they're all right. We don't need the Canadians Americans to come to the Caribbean. And they're gonna be all right without the Canadians and Americans. If the Canadians and Americans stop going to the Caribbean suffer with they will suffer, right? They'll have the rest of the world coming, but they will suffer if Americans stop going to the Caribbean and the Canadians stop going to the Caribbean. They will suffer. So what do you think is the difference if Canadians stop going to Las Vegas? Look it up. Look it up. Brazil soybeans are 10% shit. China buys American soybeans. Yes, I know that. China buys American soybeans, and vice versa. American buys stuff from China. I know that. But people, please like and subscribe. But this pardons, I notice you are a MAGA supporter. I notice these pardons, the MAGA people have no talk. Can't debate that. The MAGA people cannot debate that because guilty, 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 guilty. Your president, which you said you didn't care about him, you only cared about because you didn't like Biden. But if you're a pro MAGA person, you lost, right? You lost. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Supporting criminals. Mr. Trump supports criminals and is a hypocrite to go to South America and arrest Nicholas Mardaru, is a hypocrite to doing all of that stuff, talking about drugs coming into America, and then you're giving pardons to drug dealers. It doesn't make no sense. Why would China pay more for American soybeans? Well, China is paying for the American soybeans. I don't know if they're paying more, but I just know that they're paying for that. That's another topic. I'm talking about these pardons, right? I'm not straying away from that. I'm straying away from Mr. Trump supporting criminals, right? Trump is supporting criminals. Get that through your head. Let me say it again. Trump is supporting criminals. I'm going to say it again because some people are deaf. Trump is supporting criminals. So let's keep that. Let's stick that. Let's keep talking about that. How Trump is supporting criminals by giving them pardons, and supporting an ex-president who was uh, big with the cartels, right? Big with the cartels. That's what I want to hear. All I want to see is somebody try to defend what Trump's doing with these pardons. That's all I want to see. I want to see a reply for that, right? Will you admit that Trump's a criminal? Will you admit that Trump's in bed with drug dealers, right? Isn't the barrier, it's a morality. So far, like I said, it looks like MAGA's losing. It seems like MAGA is losing, losing badly, falling. The only justice MAGA could have, or the people who support it, that you start locking up some people from the Epstein files. If some people from the Epstein situation actually go to prison, then we actually have other people going to prison for the Epstein stuff, there will be some justice. I mean, there will be some support for Trump. He could get, people might look over the other stuff now. But so far, right now, if you do your research, Trump supports criminals. This today, big news. I don't know if people are really taking it in. It seems that a lot of people don't know about it. He pardoned 5 NFL players, even though they served their time. 5 NFL players, and most of them were involved with drugs, some narcotics, right? Distribution of narcotics. And all the what's called MAGA people want to be quiet about it. Silence. Can we get ex Prince Andrew? I'm hearing about that. I'm hearing about that. His name is coming up. Prince Andrew's coming up. I'm hearing. Will they sacrifice him? They're talking about him and that guy Wexner, or that's his other name or whatever. Yes, Europe is dealing with him already. Yeah, so maybe that's enough. There's some news we don't know about. Tell me more. How are they dealing with him? Is he going to get locked up besides being kicked out the royal family? That's what we want to know because we know Epstein was not just in America. Epstein was in Europe and the Middle East, right? So how are they dealing with Andrew? His name has came up. That man has came up. Will he get a pardon from Trump? I'm wondering, is he going to get a pardon? Let's see. Is he going to get a pardon? Some of these guys, if you look up the list, it's a lot of powerful people who are really wealthy, who they bringing up in the files. Possibly Trump will pardon them. He's probably going to pardon them. But people, please like and subscribe. Bring up the likes, people. Right? Support the platform. If you're watching, like. It's easy to like. But yes, I want to know if he's going to pardon any of these Epstein people. It seems that they're just, it's going back and forth, up and down with this whole Epstein situation. Hopefully, X deletes the X app for Europe. Well, I'm hearing even Canada wants to do that. What you should delete if you're American and you use it, you should delete the TikTok because the TikTok is the digital ID. Delete the TikTok. I'm gonna give you the ones who don't know. If you're American and you have a kid, your child uses TikTok. If you have any family members, if they still are using TikTok, and they care about their freedom, delete the TikTok. Don't worry about the X. Delete the damn TikTok because 200 million Americans use that shit. If you don't know, let me say the number. It could have went down now, but over 200 million Americans use TikTok, and they just had a recent update which takes away all your freedom. All your freedom. So yeah, X. I'm hearing Europe wants to ban it. Canada might want to ban it. America won't ban it because Mr. Elon Musk is good friends with Trump. So America's never gonna ban the X because Elon Musk is right there with Trump, right? Elon Musk helped Trump probably develop his platform too. People, please like, and subscribe. So yeah, what's next? Doesn't look good. Whole bunch of criminals he has pardoned. Maybe this is a revenge for Biden opening up the border, flooding, America with illegals. It could be a revenge situation, saying, "Hey, since he done that, I'm just gonna pardon a whole bunch of criminals, make them come out of prison, pardon even some people who are involved with drug dealing, and make them come out of prison. I mean, make them not go to jail." Right? So that's the message Mr. Trump is putting out there. What next is this man gonna do? Gotta look out for what he's gonna do next because there's some crazy shit he's doing all around the world, right? All around the world. People who used to speak out against him, they ain't talking about him anymore, like Snoop Dogg. I heard about Snoop. Now I know why Snoop's quiet. He helped Snoop Dogg with a guy who was associated with creating Death Row. And that guy was a drug dealer and he murdered somebody, and Trump pardoned that guy. So that's why Snoop is quiet. Kodak Black pardon. Lil Wayne, pardon. Nicki Minaj helped her get her citizenship or whatever, her gold card, right? Who's next? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth podcast with your host, Sean Myrie. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify Podcasts, all your podcast platforms, right? So, yep, good old MAGA. Make America great again. Even though you're giving pardons to people doing illegal shit, right? It's sad. But, yep, please subscribe, like, I'm out. The Down to Earth Network.